stranger. Stressed. Been looking for work.
What you looking for?
2 ounces of hard white.
Bitch.
People are always asking me, Kiki, the books that you write, is that about you? Is that about your life? I used to rob drug dealers. I used to traffic drugs. I was a savage. I used to get it, and I didn't care who I got it from.
I've been looking for you for 2 weeks. Where is my money?
And now I can sit here and show you guys a glimpse of my life before I turned it around.
I'm gonna ask you one more time, Kiki. Think harder, right? Where's my goddamn money at?
Mrs. Santana, you look stunning. What are you wearing? And tell us about this new venture in the fashion industry.
I'm wearing a piece from my own line. It's called Kais, designed by my brilliant partner and friend, Karen Blackwell.
Wow. Look at Adriana Santana. She's hot. I don't see Lewis anywhere, though. I noticed Sheldon Chisholm and his family are here. Not to mention the other half-dozen criminals in here.
Oh, no, you don't. We're here to have fun.
But why are you here alone? Where's your recently acquitted husband, Lewis?
Lewis is back home resting. He has his share of bright lights and cameras. We just want to leave that whole thing behind us.
No work today. We've been here for 5 minutes and you're already profiling people? Come on now.
And what else are you looking to see tonight?
All of my friends and to show off her brilliant work. Everything that you're about to see.
We can't wait for it.
The only reason I invited you is because you're my best friend and we never get to spend time together. Plus, you're killing it in that dress. Here comes Jess. I wanted to introduce you to.
You done?
Roger that.
Then why do you have it?
She told me to keep it!
I'll be out in a minute. Stop with the lies!
He's a very flashy Haitian with a penchant for violence. He's no one to play with, Haitian.
Where's my goddamn money at?
Sakura is dead.
Play with me again. I'm tired of hearing you talk all the time. Save it. Save it.
She's my friend. She's my friend.
But I will not give up. I will not give in. And I will not get caught. Time to go hunting.
And the winner is Wes Clark. Congratulations.
Yes, she's my mother.
Rock stars. There is nothing like those wild, rebellious party animals. Entry number 60.
When I decided to pursue acting, I never thought it was this difficult after weeks of being homeless, jobless, sleeping on my friends' couches. I'm finally here!
Just take care.
What are you doing?
Yourself. Shh. What's going on?
Tribe, they're
Terry.
coming.
Where have you been? I've been calling you on your cell phone all day.
At work.
Faith wake up dope sick, fiending for a sniff. Left the house, ain't tell her husband she was gone, she just dipped.
Why is it that you are taking large sums of money out of our account every single day?
While her family's at home, she's out there chasing that high. Roaming up and down the block, she run into this pimp guy. He's conversating with her, asked her if she trying to make cash. Next thing you know, she's in front of the pink house selling the ass. Then she gets dope sick again. She need that boy, so she out there searching again. She's tired of her life. For years she done wrong. Now she wanna do right. She go to rehab to get the help she need, and she tell her family.
I'm Yoshi Lomax, superstar attorney at law and fugitive.
So, you're the famous Yoshi Lomax. Probably more infamous.
I'm on the run from the federal government for crimes that I didn't commit.
Gentlemen, I'm Deputy U.S. Marshal Sharon Starr. I'll be taking things from here.
Not to mention being on the hit list of at least 3 of Miami's major crime bosses.
I wanted to apologize in person for leaving so abruptly last night.
Welcome back.
That's Vladimir Kuznetsov, a Russian crime boss. He's been a suspect in over a dozen missing person cases.
I mean, I didn't get here to be this successful for doing things the American way.
I need a list of the jury for my case with Hanju.
Oh, really? What's that worth to you? Oh my God, you're such a...
Mr. Santana is to be released upon processing.
So what do you know about Sheldon Chisholm?
What do you want to know about him?
I really need to know if you're going to take my case. I don't have time to play, Miss Lomax.
Money is not a problem. You know anything about his case?
It's being handled by agents in my field office.
I've learned that in this game of life, in order to win,
Ready to dance?
you gotta play dirty. You might look at me and see a beautiful, confident, successful woman.
Congratulations, counselor. Yet another win.
But underneath, I'm flawed. I'm broken. And I'm scared. So I have no choice but to run until I can find a way to clear my name.
Miss Lomax is now considered a fugitive of the United States. Catching fugitives is my business, which makes her my suspect. You and your associates are relieved.
Look. She killed one of our own.
But I will not give up.
All right, people, listen up. Get a picture of Miss Lomax out there so the public knows what she looks like.
I will not give in.
Okay. People, we got a game plan. Let's break and execute.
I will not get caught.
Time to go hunting.
So we have the extended version of the dream sequence right here. Sheldon comes to visit Yoshi in her hotel room after their meeting. Yoshi looks a little nervous at first, but then you see things get a little steamy after he throws her against the wall. And right here, Yoshi thinks she has everything under control because that's how she manipulates men through her sexuality. So in her mind, she has him right where she wants him. You see, that's Yoshi though. She's hot, she's sexy, she's manipulative. She uses sex to get the upper hand on men, get the win no matter what the cost. And as you can see, this is not exactly the result she was looking for. We shot this scene in Atlanta. Chuck Gomez was the director of photography. Great scene, good acting by Zasha and Wilner.
For pop R&B artist Jamela.
I picked Kelly. Yeah!
Handle this in the morning, please?
No, I think I want to handle this right now. You can give your time to the studio boy, but I think your man can get a few minutes. Alright? Hey, don't walk away from me!
You're hurting me. Stop, please.
Get in the car.
I've been down this roller coaster, running around in circles. We go trips around the moon. So confused, so scared, so alive, so unfair. It's so unfair,
Standing next to me is one of the sponsors of tonight's fabulous event, music mogul Lance Wallace. How are you, Lance?
Good evening, Michelle. I'm well, thank you.
Excellent. Now, are you concerned with the recent backlash for the drug charges against your group, Grind Time? And what's the status of the case?
Worth a Billion Inc. and its artists will always maintain its innocence. This is clearly a misunderstanding. And we're here to promote positivity and give opportunity to our people and to all people. That's it.
And so what do you think about Mr. Wallace is here to promote his fashion line? He will only be answering questions about that subject.
Thanks.
So actually we got everything up until the part where you started doing that, so we'll probably start there, but we're going to move in closer and get a closer shot of that. Yes.
Chastity, Maria, Sydney, Mackenzie, and Lucy. Well, hello, ladies. I'm Bella. I have a question for everyone. Why do you think rich men cheat? Control, attention, power. Here, you will learn how to gain ownership of all. Are you ready to take that step?
Up, y'all, this is Rayon Lawrence, and you're watching Real Talk with the Director.
Hey everyone, it's your girl Catherine Nunez, and you're watching Real Talk with the Director and the Council on the IE Network.
Real Talk.
Hey, I'm Gina Lou, and you're listening to Real Talk with the Director on Dollhouse Radio.
Hey, what's up? It's Logan Browning, and you're listening to Real Talk with the Director on Dollhouse Radio.
Real Talk.
Hi, this is Alana De La Garza, and you're listening to Real Talk with the Director on Dollhouse Radio.
Hi, I'm Diane Franklin from Better Off Dead and Bill and Ted's Excellent Adventures. You're listening to Real Talk with the Director on Dollhouse Radio.
Hi, this is Monique Capri, and you are watching Real Talk with the Director on
Blog Talk Radio.
Hey, I'm Stormy Maya, and you are listening to Real Talk with the Director on Dollhouse Radio.
It's Vicky Judy. Orange is the new black, and I'm here with Real Talk.
Yo, what up? This is Jay Ellis, and you're watching Real Talk with the Director on Dollhouse Radio. Keep it locked.
Hi, I'm Frida Parks. You're listening to Real Talk Radio with the Director. Hey, I'm Issa Rae, and you're watching Real Talk with the Director on Dollhouse Radio.
All I'm offering is the truth, nothing more.
Nothing more, nothing less. What up? Welcome to another edition of Real Talk with the Director of the Jedi Council. I'm the Director. I'll be with you for the next 120 minutes or so. Real Talk's brought to you each and every Monday by B2S Media and sponsored by Groupie, the blueprint of a self-made millionaire. We broadcast live via the World Wide Web on youtube.com/IE Network TV and on the social network, aka Meta, aka Facebook and Instagram. What up, y'all? We back again to talk some stuff. We got a nice show lined up for you this week. We're going back to our panel discussions. Whenever there's something that's really worth discussing, we are going back to our panel discussions and just try to get some insight from different creatives, different minds and creative minds, stuff like that, if you will. So this week we're going to be having a panel discussion about the new series, the Netflix series, animated remake, quote unquote, of Good Times. And so the trailer has come out. You guys can go check the trailer if you want. I'm not even going to play the trailer because after watching it several times in disbelief, you guys just got to watch it and see. So the question is, I wanted to talk a little bit about not just the importance of imagery and Black animation, the power of it as well. And there's been, it's been catching, rightfully so, it's been catching a lot of backlash. As we know, Good Times was created by Eric Monty and Mike Evans, who both, the families of both of them have come out and already made statements that they had nothing to do with this. Now, here on Real Talk, we like to educate as well as entertain. So I will, and a little bit later we go into it, I will explain to you what it means to be a creator of an intellectual property, right? And why these two gentlemen and their families should be entitled to, and what they should be entitled to because of their contribution of their work. So we'll do that. And then we got two guests. We got more than two guests. We got a panel today. 2 to 3 guests gonna be on. Some you may have seen before, some you may not have. And but we welcome everyone here to discuss this with us. This is real stuff, man. This is when you, as creators, especially as Black creators, you really have to take a step back and look at what is going on. And the story of Eric Monty, I'll go a little bit into that and explain it to some of our viewers who may not understand the seriousness behind this, right? Shout out to the chat room. Shout out to everybody coming through in the chat room. We definitely make sure you smash that like button coming through. Make sure you subscribe to the channel if you have not already. Shame on you. And of course, share this with your friends. We will go to our weekend recap brought to you by boxofficemojo.com for the weekend of March 29th through the 31st. Number 5, Immaculate. That is the film that's starring, what's her name again? Sydney Sweeney. It's now, it made like 5 million. No, it opened at 5 million. It made another 3.3 million. It's now at a worldwide of $13 million. So it's not doing too that great. It just came out on the 22nd. But number 4, Kung Fu Panda 4. $10.3 million to add to the $346 million worldwide. So Kung Fu Panda doing its thing. We have number 3 is Dune Part 2. Made another $11.4 million. This is the second installment of the Dune, the new remakes of the Dune movie. So that's now at a $627 million worldwide total. Number 2, Ghostbusters Frozen Empire, $15.6 million over the weekend, which bringing the total right now, it opened on the 22nd, brings the total to $108 million. $108 million thus far total. And number 1, Godzilla and Kong, the new empire, made $80 million. It opened this weekend, actually. It made $80 million on the opening. Really cool. It made $115 million international, and it's at $195 million worldwide, pretty much after it just opened on the 29th officially. And it opened to 3,800 theaters. So that is your weekend recap, brought to you by BoxOfficeMojo.com. That's what's up. So we're going to get right into it once again. Shout out to the chat room. Shout out everybody over on Instagram. I ain't forget about you. I see y'all. A-Team in the building. I see you, my dude. Full Sail representative in the building. What's going on, man? Producer extraordinaire A-Team came through. I saw him pop into the feed there. When you guys pop into the feed, I know on Instagram it's easy to pop in and pop out. But before you pop out, leave your mark. Say what up. Say, yo, this is A-Team represented, California, whatever, Represent Full Sail. No, but we appreciate you coming through. But y'all come through and leave your mark so I can shout you out for coming through. We're kind of new to Instagram, so I try to keep my attention over here, but we got a lot to cover today. But like I said, we'll have our panelists on shortly as we go into some of the things. I'll just go into some of the news that's happening. Speaking of the like I said, I'll read the statement from the Evans family. I am in contact with not the Evans family, with the that's the Evans family, from Eric Monte's production company and family. I've been in contact with them, so but they've also given they've had I guess they did an interview with Comedy Hype, and the statement was read. I mean, it was pretty much given to them. So I'm just trying to, I'll read the statement they gave Comedy Hype. Shout out to them. Check them out. They're on Twitter. They're on YouTube and all the social medias at Comedy Hype. And then _ on Twitter. So it's at Comedy Hype _ Make sure you check them out. They did it. It was good for them to cover this, and they got a chance to they got some statements from the Eric Monte's family and a statement from Mike Evans' family. So they're on top of it, and I love to see it. I'm here for it. Big up to you guys, and let's keep it going. Yeah, man, we're here. You're there. We appreciate y'all joining us, and I'm here now. I brought my Jedi Council with me. Here's one of them's here. You don't believe me? Well, here he is. Ralph, you're in the building, man.
Hey, what's going on, everybody? I'm just going to say this right now. 4 Godzilla movies, 1 Man of Steel. That's all I got to say.
What did you say?
I said Warner Brothers gave me 4 Godzilla movies, but only 1 Man of Steel. Something really wrong with that.
Yeah, I know. It's so man. But I saw Godzilla over the weekend. I enjoyed it. Like these movies are popcorn and soda, man. Like it's like what one thing I seem to notice. It seems like because I've had some complaints, but it seems like it was definitely, we had our little group of humans that they stayed with, but it was like less human stuff going on in this one, just a little bit. Not meaning
I'm not
you're
either.
not sticking with the humans and they're dictating the whole story, which they are because they're the ones that's talking, right? But with Kong, I'll say without spoiling it for everyone, there's more interaction on Kong's side in this film that's kind of like you didn't really need the humans at that point when we showed them. So
I'm
pretty
just gonna
cool.
be honest with you. I'm not interested at all. I did not see Kong Godzilla versus Kong. I mean, the first Godzilla I thought was pretty good. The second one wasn't
Oh,
bad.
you didn't
I thought
watch
it
the
was
one Godzilla versus Kong? You didn't watch that one?
no. I'm not. I was not interested. I checked out after Godzilla King of Monsters. I thought it was too dark. It was too much. It was just okay. But once again, my thing complaint is this: you giving me Warner Brothers. You giving me 4 Godzilla movies, but you only gave me 1 Man of Steel. I don't understand that. But I don't work for Warner Brothers. I don't know Warner Brothers. I don't know who Warner
Right.
Brothers even is. So hey, y'all do what you gotta do. But me, I would have preferred Man of Steel 2 somewhere up in there over the last 13 years. That's just me.
Well, well, that's funny. I thought, I liked Godzilla versus Kong. Like I said, these movies are popcorn and soda movies. They're not nothing that, they're not Oscar nominated, acting movies. But I'm okay with that. I'm okay with the popcorn and soda. You know, um, it has some nice action, some nice little fights. They tearing things up, and the thing about what to me the only my only little thing about it was um with all these humans involved, it's really becomes unrealistic because the bottom line is there's only so much the humans can do, and then they need to get out of the way before they get stepped on.
Exactly.
So other than that though, but I mean they do it, they do a good job, a decent job at writing the humans where they're never actually in the middle of the action. They're kind of doing everything from a distance, which they should. They're in the middle of it in some parts, but I don't know. But that's how it goes there.
I'm just curious. Did AMC or Regal have a now? The only thing will make me want to go see it is if now the trend is these popcorn containers. Did they have like a Godzilla popcorn container? Like it was a
They
Godzilla, you took
did,
the
and
head
I
off.
and I did not get it either, only because I went this time and I was kind of rushing for the first time in a long time. I was rushing to get to the theater. I never do that. I'm always early. And because I was rushing to get to the theater, I didn't even buy popcorn. I just went right to my seat. So I did not get that, but they did have one. I saw they had like a little pack. They had one for Godzilla, and I think they had one for Ghostbusters.
Yeah, I saw the
So
one. I saw the one for Doom. For Doom,
for Dune, okay.
I did see that
I
one.
didn't I didn't see that one at all, but yeah, so we got some we got some guests today. We're having kind of like a panel discussion at 8:30. They're gonna start popping in. Um One is already in the green room, and I'm gonna bring him on probably a little bit ahead of them, only because he's no stranger to the show. But yeah, man, this is something that needs to be talked about. Did you see the trailer for Good Times?
I'm gonna be honest with you. I saw the snippets floating around. I did not look into it when I started hearing that people were upset about it, and this is my own personal thing.
Mm-hmm.
Unless you were going to have the original cast of Good Times, in which you weren't. You're putting out this animated version, 50 years after the original airing of Good Times. At this point, the era that was set in does no longer exist. And I'm just like, now that I hear that it does not have the blessing of the people that created it, then no, I don't want to watch it. I mean, because it sounds like it's going to be some sort of stereotypical cartoon, and for what? You know, I mean, like realistically speaking, do we still need to see JJ, not Jimmy Walker, but JJ in it? Do we still need to see him saying dynamite? You know, no.
Right. No, well, you're not. Yeah, that's the thing. You're not seeing that. So what they did was, like you were saying, that they obviously didn't go with the original. They didn't even go with the original cat family. Okay. And I'll take a quick moment to explain this to some of our listeners and viewers that may not understand how the business works. So obviously the show Good Times, produced by Norman Lear. It was created by Eric Monte and Mike Evans. Okay. Mike Evans was the young man who played the original Lionel Jefferson. So that he was actor as well, but they met because Eric Monte, who came on and wrote the Jefferson, he created the Jefferson characters for All in the Family. And so Mike Evans and him got together and did the show, right? So anyway, they're the creators. Okay. Now this new show, I'm gonna pop a graphic up here, and then I'm gonna bring Seven in a minute, see what he thinks. But our new the new show is Seth MacFarlane. Okay.
Oh, that's who's responsible for this, Seth MacFarlane?
Yeah.
Oh.
Seth MacFarlane comes in and he has a sit down with Norman Lear. Okay. He sits down with Norman Lear. Seth Curry somehow gets involved in this because he has a production company as well. So he's one of the executive producers of this as well. Now, this is a graphic I'm pointing. I put this up on purpose, but people remember this. This is not the graphic for the show. I put this up so I could show you what a cartoon version or animated version of the Evans family, the original Evans family, would kind of look like. I found this graphic on the internet. That's how it was. I said, all right, that's cool. But lo and behold, people, that is not what it looks like, because this is actually the original. There's James Evans, there's Florida, there they go, the family, right? So maybe it started out with that intention, and that's just a big maybe. That is just me. I know that the Eric Monte's family, obviously didn't sign off on this. Neither did Mike Evans' family. I don't know how early they knew about this. I don't know how early that if they were approached at all. That's what I'm waiting to hear back from. And somewhere soon down the line, I'm gonna have Eric Monte's family, maybe his daughter or his granddaughter might come on, and because they handle a lot of business for him, and explain, did they contact you at all to try to offer something? Because I don't even know based on what. So this is the graphic that it probably should have looked like, right? And now I'm going to show you a graphic. Well, you've already seen the thing, but we're going to show the viewers a graphic of what it does actually looks like.
Is it actually on Netflix?
It's going to be it's on Netflix. It's going to it airs like April 12th. April 12th it airs. So it's coming very, very soon. Now here's the graphic of what it actually looks like. Okay, let's see if I can zoom in a little bit. There we go. This is the Evans family that's going to be on right here. Short on rent, Big on Love. That's the tagline, I guess. From executive producers Stephen Curry. I kept saying Steph Curry. Stephen Curry, Norman Lear, and Seth MacFarlane. So now, short on rent, big on love. Here's the graphic of the modern day Evans family. Now you saw the graphic I had it before. You know what the real Evans family looked like, or the original. This is supposedly a modern day take. These characters are basically descendants of the original Evans family. They are the 2024 fourth generation Evans family. That's who they are. So it consists of whoever this guy is, who's the head of the family, the wife, there's the two kids. So they got the same similar type of family, except you got this baby here. This is a drug dealing baby. A baby that deals drugs. Right? So
wait a minute. I'm sorry. As you're talking, right? When I asked you the question, is this on Netflix? I actually am pulling up Netflix right this second. I'm looking at the trailer to this thing. This has got to be one of the most stupidest things that I have seen in a while. And I think me saying that is generous. A drug dealing baby, right? It's supposed to be set around the time of Good Times in the projects where Good Times which don't even exist anymore.
That don't even exist anymore. Exactly.
They don't exist anymore.
Cabrini Green projects don't even exist anymore.
Right.
And it's not set in the time. It's set in present time, but they gave the environment of the Cabrini Green projects, which has been gone for decades.
Yeah,
now.
You got this teacher telling someone that you can't graduate high school, just get on OnlyFans. You got good feet. Let me see your feet. Like what?
Yeah, it's real.
Stereotypical.
I have to say it. I have to say it, bro. It's a bunch of coonery and buffoonery, bro. And I have to say it because I watched it and I'm telling you, this is the funny thing. You're having the same reaction. When we get our guest on, I want to ask them their first reaction. When I sent it to him, he had the same reaction. He was like, I have no words. It's just like, I sent it to Kev. He's like, what did I just watch? It's like, Bruce, everybody, they're just like, wow. And I mean, this is really offensive. I have to say that. It's offensive what they're doing. Now, and I'll go into deeper about it as well. Where, like I said, we got our panelists in the green room that I'm about to bring them on in a few minutes. And but yeah, man, this is what the image that they decided to go with. Now, as you can see, we'll dig into it a little bit. Seth MacFarlane has his hands all over this. You could tell by the animation, by the illustration of it. MacFarlane is all over this. They're like their animation kind of looks a cross between Family Guy and The Simpsons. It's kind of like a little bit between both, right?
No, it doesn't. No, it doesn't. You know what it looks like?
Look at her face there.
I'm gonna tell you exactly what it looks like. It looks more like the Proud Family.
It's a little Proud Family in there. Yep. The whole thing about the drug dealing baby, damn well that was Seth MacFarlane's idea. It had to be. That's his niche, right? That's what he does. He's the shock factor guy, right? Every show he does has some sort of baby or little kid that talks a lot of crap. You go to the Cleveland show, the little boy Rollo, big afro little kid. He's not necessarily a baby, but he's like a little kid. Then you, of course, Stewie, the baby, who does all types of stuff, right? You got the talking dog with Brian at the Cleveland show. You have the talking bears that live next door. So he's always with the things that's just out of place that shouldn't be. He does it. So a drug dealing baby, I'm that is all Seth MacFarlane's humor. You know that. Now, the funny thing is, there are some. One thing I'm going to bring to the panel is there are some pretty notable voice actors involved with this project. All right. It's a good time.
Yeah, I heard Wanda Sykes in it. She plays this. She's the teacher. I know Marseille Martin. I guess she's playing Velma.
You heard Rhonda Sykes' voice on the thing, right?
Yeah. I guess Marseille Martin is playing Thelma. I guess.
Yeah, probably. Whoever her character name is. Yeah, I don't think it's named Thelma because it's a different character, right? So if I looking up the voice cast, you have like Yvette Nicole Brown, JB Smoove, Masai Martin, as you mentioned, Jay Farrell. I think he's doing the remember he played JJ in the ABC live event of Good Times. Remember when they were doing that?
Yeah, I remember
the Jeffersons. They did Good Times. They did All in the Family. So Jay Farrell played JJ. So now they brought him into this. I don't know if he's on IMDb. They're not listing their character's name, but yeah. So you got these people, and then I also read somewhere that even veteran voice actors like Cree Summer had something to do with it. But I don't know if she's still involved, but I remember reading that she was involved. Maybe one of our panelists might be able to shed some light on that. They might know. But I do remember reading that Cree Summer was involved in this somewhere. You didn't know where. I think she's a consultant, if I'm not mistaken. I believe she came on as like a consultant or something like that, or voice, like she's like the consultant for the voice actors or whatever. Because as you know, Cree Summer, who played Freddie on A Different World, is a phenomenal. Right now, she's like damn near legendary voice actor.
Yeah,
you know, right? So, I believe they have her on as more of a consultant type of deal to the voice cast. So yeah, but we'll let's go ahead and bring in we got a couple of our panelists in the green room. I want to bring them in, and we got one more coming. So let's see here. Okay, so let's bring in our panelists. Well, everyone, this gentleman's no stranger to the show. He comes on, he does his own shows. He's a content creator. No, he's not a content creator. He is a filmmaker and a creator, a writer, producer, and yeah, man, and also a friend of the show, friend of the family. Everybody, remember, welcome back, Michael to the show. What up, Sev?
What's going on?
What up, Sev?
What's going on, man?
Yeah, man. Yeah, I appreciate you coming in.
Ralph always make a brother smile, man. Ralph always make a brother smile.
Everybody says that. I guess because people see me around, they're like, "Oh, what's up?" It's like a reunion. I'm like, yo, what's up? What's up? What's up?
What's up? Yeah. And
I just got Wes, we just you bringing more people in?
Yeah. Go ahead. What were you gonna say?
We gotta get the gasoline, some matches, and burn this bad boy.
Yeah. We gotta.
You know what I'm sad about right this second before you bring our next guest on is that my boy Demetrius. I gotta put this out there. This year he at his martial arts expo, he's having the 40th anniversary of The Last Dragon, but he's also doing something for the 50th anniversary of Good Times, and he's gonna have the Evans kids there. I'm sorry that we're doing this show today and that expo is not taking place this weekend, because that would be my main discussion with the three of them.
Yeah.
How do they feel about this? Because it looks like straight coonery to me.
Yeah, it is. I'll go into more because I was talking to, and actually our other panels just joined us as well. So let me bring them in, and then we can get started on the actual discussion of the show and and get everybody's opinions on it and reactions to it. So our next one of our other panelists, this young lady, she's doing her thing on social media, on as on the internet, Instagram and TikTok. She is a content creator. She's also a movie, film, and television review expert. She does her thing, man. So we definitely want to bring her on. Meaganzworld comes through. What's up?
Hi,
Meagan?
what's up? I cannot wait to
Hello.
dive into this.
Thank you. Thank you for
Ooh.
showing up. Thank you for
The
coming.
conversation has been so good so far, so I
Oh,
cannot.
I appreciate that. I appreciate that. And of course, I had to invite this brother because he is another a black creator that's doing his thing. He's a comic book creator. He's a writer, author, a filmmaker. He's one of those Renaissance men. You know how we do. So I gotta definitely bring in my man Jeff Carroll to the panel.
All right, what's good, sir?
Well,
can y'all
welcome.
hear me?
Yes, sir.
I can hear you.
All right. Yeah, man, we're gonna have a good time.
Yeah, good time. So I thank all of y'all for joining us tonight, and on short notice because I kind of hit y'all at the last minute. And I appreciate that, black folks. But I just but I'm glad y'all responded. But anyhow, we'll start with let's jump right into it, man. I want to get started with 7, and then we'll go from 7. We'll go to Meagan, and then we'll end it off with Jeff. What was your first reaction when you watched the trailer to the Good Times, whatever this is? I've already dubbed it. I've already dubbed it. No, I got a new name for it. We're gonna call it Hood Times. That's the name of it.
Right.
No, he's gonna call it bullshit.
Yeah.
We call Hood Times because it's not Good Times.
Damn.
So Seb, what was your first reaction when you checked it out?
Oh man! Besides the shock,
yeah,
my initial reaction was just shock, but after getting that, like when something falls on your foot, you're like, the first thing is something fell on your foot, not even the pain, right? And then it got kind of swells. I just felt that we went backwards.
Yeah,
we went backwards. Like in serious, like I have a lot of jokes being a comedian, but we went backwards. And the thing that hurt the most was really this. The fact that they put first, they knew they were wrong.
Yeah.
But they had to put a black face to make it justified, like to kind of like
to buffer it.
Right. And as far as I'm concerned with him, I am very disappointed and I will not support because of the fact that you co-signed this, you should have known better. Norman Lear has a history.
Yeah, we already know we're getting with him. Yeah,
right.
Yes.
And the thing is, you know what? I'm a huge fan of Seth MacFarlane. Even though, yes, he goes there, but I think he goes in areas where the best politically correct way to say this, but without trying to be politically correct, is that when people do stuff and say stuff and it's racist, but they don't know it's racist. Like some people don't really know, and they need that black friend or the community at large. That's not acceptable. I didn't mean to offend, because even when he did Cleveland was just a
borderline.
Right.
It was really
Mike. What you call it? What's his name? Mike. The guy who originally did Cleveland. He finally gave up the role after they got some backlash. He said, okay, I think a person of color should play this character. But his friend, they're friends from college, college days and illustration school or whatever.
it's simply that's another form of blackface, because you got someone to use blackface but use it in the form of cartoon rather than the makeup on the face. So
Right.
it is what it is. It was blackface. And he
Yeah.
got away with it for a while, and people said this is not acceptable. I'm glad that he was strong enough to make changes. And I'm going to talk too long because there's a lot of social impact and historical things I would love
Yeah,
to.
yeah, exactly. And I mean that's all we could try to unpack. I want to see. Thank you for that too, Seth. So Meagan, what was your initial? Because Meagan, I give you credit because you already reported on this.
Yeah.
And I appreciate that. Because you do a lot of reviews on television and movies. And you were on top of this, so that's why I thought to ask you to jump on. So, what was your first reaction as we bring in Kev, which is our third host of the Jedi Council? Welcome back, Kev. Go ahead, Meagan.
Yeah, honestly, when I looked at this, when I first saw the trailer, my jaw dropped. Like, my face would have been like the entire time. I was so surprised that, like Seven said, we're going backwards. Like, we really are. And it's very interesting for Hollywood, really, because they're trying to do a lot of the remakes to make them more progressive. But when it comes to this remake, we're going back, and it's even worse than the original, which is insane because I actually
Oh, damn.
It really is, because I actually binge watched the first season to prepare for this, and I'm just like, the first season of Good Times was ironically way more progressive than this.
Oh yeah,
Of course.
It is so crazy to think about it, but it just didn't look like Good Times. Like it did. I made a joke in my video that it looks like Bebe's Kids, but Bebe's Kids is actually a good movie.
Yes.
But even Bebe's Kids had more of a message in
we don't die, we multiply.
Yeah, we don't die. We don't
multiply.
It had Baby's Kids actually had really great commentary.
But wait, what? Sorry about that, Kev. Wait 1 second, because after Megan's done, we're gonna move to Jeff because I'm getting their initial reactions on the on the trailer. Go ahead, Megan. Finish your thought.
Yeah, no problem. Yeah, and one thing I mentioned in my review was actually Bebe's Kids had really good messages, especially towards the end, talking about latchkey kids and absentee parents and all that dynamic. And it's a really powerful film, even though there's a lot of comedy to it. It's actually it's a silly film with a message. It just seems like this Good Times reboot is just silly and it's just stereotypical and it's so crazy because I actually, before I posted my review of this Good Times reboot, I actually did a deep dive on American Fiction. So it's just the themes, it's just we still have a long way to go. We really do. Those are my initial thoughts.
No, I agree. And Jeff, I definitely, once again, you also was someone who was right on top of it. You posted, about it and your feelings about it, but I definitely wanted you to express what was your initial reaction to the trailer.
So I have a documentary called Why I Love Sci-Fi, and in that documentary commentary, I talk about what you see behind me, my characters and other characters, and I say that we are the future of science fiction or fantasy and all of that because they have thought of all of the ideas. Right now, the only new ideas are going sideways, when that is through different perspectives. So the hustle is to try to find a black sci-fi thing. So when I saw it, I was like, it's a bad joke. I thought it was a dream sequence, and nobody was really stupid enough to do a story like that. I mean, you ever heard of you trying too much, you doing too much? That's exactly what I thought of when I saw it. I was like, oh, they're just trying to keep up to, this new wave of black creators coming with original perspectives on different things. And, sometimes I feel like the angry black man, who is the one that always sees racism, be like, how are the black characters in Kong, how are they treated, or, just different things like that. And then something like this reminds me why we can't take our foot off the gas. We can't go stupid verse, you know what I'm saying? Or Reaper verse, or whatever you want to call it. We can't make it up, because what will happen is, like you said, they will coon us, they will appropriate us, they'll try to impersonate us instead of using us. You understand? Instead of using, we got black writers, not even just me, but we got us coming out with stuff Kickstarter. These gatekeepers are actually dead right now. And this is why it seems like they're out of gas. And I get the whole thing of Steph Curry. My biggest anchor was Jay Farrow and my partner, JB Smooth, because JB Smooth helped me start my company. So the other reaction that I had out of like, dang, they're really out of gas is what was the hustle? What was the inside of the room? Like, I'm trying to figure out, how did they hustle like JB Smooth? Because I know he's not somebody that would do this on his own. He doesn't have, insulting black people comedy in the stuff that he writes himself. So I'm wondering, and it's like Steph Curry, they put his name up top. Like, he's a goofy guy, but he ain't drug dealer, baby goofy. That is what he goes into the hardcore. He came from the black comedy clubs. So if he did it in that stupid drug dealer, baby, goofy stuff, he wouldn't be able to leave. But that's it was so insulting. It was like somebody said, that's good right there. What you got worse than that? You know what I'm saying? And they kept trying to outdo each other. You know what I'm saying? I'm like, you realize you do have to come in front of an audience. And so I'm happy that we are standing our ground. It's not just Jewish people that get offended. It is black people, and we're not going to sit by and let things. I mean, we let City Girls go by. We let Miami Love and Hip Hop. We've had some stupid stuff.
Sexy Red.
But doggone it, those are real people, okay?
Right.
Yeah. You're not going to give us a cartoon Sexy Red. We're not going to stand for that.
No.
You got to be real if you want to be ignorant.
Right, exactly.
No City Girls animated series. No.
No, please no. Please God, no.
I'm gonna say this.
You know
and
what?
this is not a slight against Seth MacFarlane.
I'm gonna piggyback off of what.
Wait, let Kev say his
I'm
story.
sorry, I didn't hear
Kev.
Kev. I didn't even hear Kev.
No, it's okay, Ralph. I just want to piggyback off of what Meagan said and also what Jeff said. I'm gonna start with what Meagan said. And it's not really a pushback, but it's like an autocorrect. We have not. When you say we have not come far enough, or I'm paraphrasing what you said. It's not that we haven't come far enough. We've come, and we've been, as Jeff said, we've already been advanced. We've already moved forward. They need to stop with the not accepting who we are and stop trying to push the narrative of what we ain't. Because even with my main problem with this whole trailer, later for all the buffoonery, let's put that aside. Let's just start with the disrespect of Cabrini Green projects. That project that building is no longer more.
Yeah.
How are you even like that? Wes showed me this trailer, and I was on the phone with him, and I couldn't even talk. I'm like, why are they showing? Like, I was just stuck on that one thing. Like, why are you?
I thought it was a spoof. I thought it was a spoof.
Like, do you understand? Not only the pain of the people that were in that project, that alone aside, the history of that project, of that building, I should say. I'm not going to use the term they used, but of that building, right, and the surrounding area of that area. But then you go as far as to now you want to project. It's almost like it's like I don't know which one. I don't know whether it was you or Jeff or Meagan that said it, but it's almost like you doubling down on, you know what, we can't clown and coon them this way, so we're gonna double down and we gonna force black people to watch this and accept it, and white people gonna love it. And that's some. And Ralph,
what made them? What made them think this was funny?
I'm really ready to go play target practice. Yeah, I'm really ready to go play target practice because it's like.
You know what would have bailed them out if they would have had Jimmy Walker as a part of it, because he probably just stupid enough to do something stupid like this.
Jeff.
They out stupid Kid Dynamite. They took it to a level beyond Jimmy Walker. You know?
Yeah.
They did.
My whole thing is like,
I am telling you. I would have caught a flight to somewhere. I don't know where, but I would have caught a flight to somewhere.
Okay, we're gonna go to Ralph, and then we'll bounce back to you, Meagan.
Okay,
I'm gonna say this, right? I think there's only one person that could have did this, and we would have took it for, if you want to say, a joke, and that would have been Mel Brooks, like we did with Blazing Saddles. Right? Listen, Blazing Saddles is probably the most offensive movie you would probably ever see, but it is far and away probably one of the funniest movies you ever see. But it's set in a time period that makes it funny, and you had a cast that was kind of on the inside with the jokes.
Yeah, but there was a diversity. There's no Jewish person in this. There's no stupid white police officer. There's nothing other than they added a baby. There's not even a baby in the original show. Wait. That's the extra insult. A baby drug dealer.
I agree, but before all the other stuff you said, there's no diversity. Remember, we're just seeing the trailer. We haven't seen the episode, so maybe when the episode comes on, there is. But right now, you got to take it on face value of what they're showing. What they're showing is highly offensive. It's insulting, right? It's not like you guys are doing this and it's still set in that time period of good times. You have it set in today's time.
No, it's set in some post-apocalyptic world that never existed. Listen, there has never been a world that's. I'm sorry, I just want to say, you know, have you seen Motherfuckers on Netflix? This is
I never saw it, heard of it.
No. This is that type of world. It is so how can you even buy milk in that world? You understand what I'm saying? It is post-apocalyptically unrealistic. And this is, I'm not even from the quote-unquote housing complexes, but I've been to them. None of them were as negative. There's no Walona in there. There's no Bookman. The super Bookman. You understand? So this is ridiculously extra unrealistic.
Yeah.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
Now, Meagan had
one thing before Meagan comes on.
Oh, go ahead. Yeah, go ahead, Kel.
I just want to say one thing before Meagan comes on. That and just piggybacking off of that. Also, the other thing that makes it even worse is the stereotype of the project, because we especially black women, but black kids in general are already perceived to be older than what we are at an early age. We already have this projected. It's always this image already projected that we're actually we're actually able to be responsible for our actions. And showing a drug dealer baby, that just paints the picture like, oh, dip. So
no, you're not.
5-year-olds come out the
no,
womb
you're not.
knowing how to cook crack.
I'm a man. What kind of stupid stuff are we imitating? We taking a collection of everything stupid and putting it together?
Yeah, I don't know how people thought that was gonna be funny. Now, Meagan, you got a thought, and then I'm gonna come with a question that I'll start with 7 with my question. But go ahead.
Yeah, my thought with all this being said, who is this for? Because it's clearly not for the fans of Good Times. It's clearly not for black people. I feel like it's just another way. I mean, I don't want to sound like a conspiracy theorist, but it really feels like another way to just make fun of us. Like it really does. It also seems like a dusted off, it just seems like a dusted off script that had nothing to do with anything. And then it's just like, oh, let's just slap a familiar IP. Okay, what do black people like? They like Good Times, right? Okay, let's just slap it on there. That's what it seems like. It's just like there is no consulting at all. with what people actually want. And that's the problem with a lot of these remakes. It's like no one asked for this. Like no one whatsoever.
Nobody.
It's like,
Who was their test audience? Helen Keller? Right. You have to be blind and deaf. Who did they test it in front of?
See,
Come on.
it's so crazy. Like, okay,
I'm going to tell you, they didn't test it.
No, that's how arrogant they were.
It feels like, and I even mentioned this at my end of my video, that this is going to be the 2024 version of Velma, because how many people like lampooned Velma last year?
Wow.
And this is our Velma. This is our Velma. This is the Black person's Velma.
No, I agree with you. Now, you have a perfect segue when you talk about who is this for. Now, my question is, and I'm going to start with Sev. My question is to the panel. And Jeff did kind of mention some of the voice actors that's involved that kind of disappointed him. How much, because I'm going to read something to you guys, how much accountability do you think the actors involved? Now, of course, they didn't create it. They're just working. I'll give my opinion of it. But how much of accountability that the actors involved, if any at all, do you guys think should be measured here? Sev, before you answer that, Sev, I'm just gonna read this. This is Yvette Nicole Brown responding to a tweet, and she's defending the project. She says, this version of Good Times is edgier and more irrelevant than the Good Times of our childhood, but it's still a show about family, fighting the system, and working to make things better despite where you start out in the world. That 100% lines up with my values, end quote. So now, Seb, with that in mind,
hold it. Wait a minute, Seb. Wait. No, before you say that, before you say that, I'm gonna say like this. With what she just said, that's the same argument that came out back in the 90s. If y'all remember that TV show, Homeboys from Outer Space, that is the same. What was the other one that the Desmond Pfeiffer that was on Fox? The same statement. Both of those shows sucked and they were degrading. That's why they weren't on the air for so long, because someone sat there and said, hey, so now you got the people doing this remake of Good Times. Somebody should say, wait a minute, we've seen this path twice in the last 20 some odd years. Let's go on a different angle with this.
I'm gonna update you. I'm gonna update something else she said after I get Seven's answer. She had more to say.
That's how you lose your black card. That's how you lose your black card.
Exactly.
Keep your mouth shut. Keep your mouth shut.
For real.
Well,
what's your answer?
Well, Jeff, let's just be honest. If you could respond like that, that person probably never had a black card. So
damn.
Say that again.
Appropriately. Damn.
Could not hear you.
So there's a lot of things, but I'm listening to you. Beautiful people, and I didn't want to interrupt, so I'm going to answer the question, but I have to say this because it's important. You know, the thing is, when you had the original Good Times, you had the same energy of basically making fun of Black people because they like us to entertain them, right? But you had the push and the pull, you had the fight, and you could, if you listen to the dialogues, the early seasons, Michael, the character Michael, always had the wisdom. You felt the energy of the Black Panthers in his speech. You felt the
militant midget. Come on.
You had the energy and sometimes words of a Malcolm in what he said, and it worked. For what was bad, Dynamite. You still had, you had a little bit of balance. Like you said, you have Walona. How you say her name?
Yeah, Walona.
Right?
Yep.
So you had the episode with Penny getting burnt. Like you had a balance between the...
You did.
The foolish
and then we had like Thelma too. That was just a typical teenager character.
Right.
She wasn't playing into stereotypes, you know?
So the thing is, it's like, you know, if you take all that out, past the title, and the shape of the characters and the ages of characters. If you do not have that consciousness along with the jokes, you just have foolishness. So that's the thing, and I just want to bring that up because I think you have to remember like the chemistry that made the show.
Yeah,
that stuff made it kind of work. Exactly, and also to Kev's point, and then I'll answer your question after that, Wes. But to Kev's point, like you're making fun of people that are living. They're living somewhere that if they could do better, they would do better.
Right.
You know what I mean? So it's like if we do a whole show on making fun of homeless people or making fun of people that can't see or making people that can't hear or missing a limb, how can you do that? But it's okay to make fun of people that, you know what I mean? Like that. Yeah. What are we doing here? What are we doing
and
here?
that's actually a perfect setup to the question of.
I'm ready to respond myself.
Because I'm
we gotta get back to you.
What'd you say?
Yeah. No, I was saying I wanted Seb to that's a perfect segue to your answer.
Yeah, as a perfect let me just segue to the answer. So Steph Curry allegedly said that
don't say nothing.
He's not a fan of affordable housing, but executive produced the show. You know, the reaction to that is you're not a fan.
What you say?
He's not a fan of affordable housing, but yet in turn he executive produced a show that takes place with a family in the ghetto. Hold that thought. The next thing is no,
Stephen Curry.
Stephen Curry. So again, right. So and then you had Cree Summer, which is directing the animated reboot.
Oh god!
So she's directing, voice directing. Okay.
Hold that thought. So
and she's going to be at Urban Nerd Con. So let's see how she's received.
And I'll say this way because Wes, as a writer, a director, and I'm also an actor. So I've learned over the years, and people going to play stuff back. But I'll say it this way: I do believe that at some point, as a culture, we have to take a pivot and say, "I'm glad you got a check." But if you're going to get a check and poison the water of our culture, then I cannot support you. And the only reason why we're saying the names that we've said, not going to say anyone in particular, but that all the names that we've said, the only reason why they got the gig is because they're black or half black or piece black or Canadian black. Right?
Yeah.
And the only reason why they're there is to use them to justify the
push the
shucking and jiving.
So, it's tokenism.
But this is not new. This is just an extreme version of content that we could all agree that there's something fishy. So yes, Wes, I believe that all the names, like you know what, Seth MacFarlane, he's outside of the culture. He created something. Norman Lear, history of it. Boom. But all the people of color, all the black people, especially that are involved, I blame them because they could have said no. And everybody you mentioned, none of them is broke. So you have to take a job. Damn. Well, it's a job. Take another job.
Right.
They only hire
to quote the Hollywood Shuffle. To quote the Hollywood Shuffle, there's work at the post office.
There's work at the post office. So there's no excuse. There's no excuse, but you know what? I don't really care. And you know what? So I'm not going to support. I'm not going to watch it. And that's it. You know.
All right. Before I move to Meagan and Jeff, I'm going to continue. Yvette Nicole Brown also said it's called Good Times because it was championed by Norman Lear. He was excited to update. He was excited to update the story and use the freedom of animation to point out what still isn't fair and equitable for black folks. This is what we do with the show.
A baby selling drugs?
Is she serious?
We grew up. Come on, Wes. I mean, and
she said Norman Lear.
Yeah. Norman Lear.
addicted to drugs. I mean, there's babies born out of like the whole crack epidemic and everything like that.
Yeah.
There's so many babies that were born with deformities and stuff like that. And I've seen, when you see it and you work with different groups and you see the impact, when it becomes real. It's not a joke, right?
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
to now take a baby and like, well, now to be funny and to twist it and try to squeeze some moral fiber out of it, have a kid and the other kids are pressuring him to sell drugs. No, I'm not gonna do it. That would be something, where a kid can watch the show and, oh, you know what? That's funny, as well as I don't want to do drugs and I don't want to take, you know what I mean? Maybe you could do something with that, but this is the best we could do. The best writers, the best voice actors.
Bill Cosby right now is, I'm sorry, Seven. Bill Cosby is turning over in his life.
No, you don't even got to go far as Bill Cosby. Esther Roll is the only one that's an ancestor. Thelma is still alive. Michael is still alive. Jimmy Walker is still alive. John Amos is still alive. We haven't heard from them. No, but I'm gonna tell you, none of them will like this, because if you look at any of their interviews on how they were pitched Good Times in the first place, all of them stood their ground and said, I ain't even going to be a part of it if it's not going to be something positive. Let me tell you, I'm sorry, Meagan, but it's just listening to what you were saying, Seven. The whole intro song in the original Good Times is more soulfully relevant than that whole trailer. If you just close your eyes and hear, hey, we got it, it sounds black. It sounds connected. They can't. Absolutely. It wasn't cooning. It wasn't cooning. It was celebrating. It was celebrating. It felt like church.
Yep.
It felt like church. You could play that in church, and I noticed the Reverend Jamal Bryant or somebody doing a sermon to Good Times, and somebody's coming down the altar getting the ghost.
No. So now, Meagan, I want to get your opinion on the accountability of the actors question.
That's a good. That's
how
a
do
really
you feel
good
about
question.
that?
Oh gosh. Okay. Like, I mean, I made jokes even in my own comments, like, okay, I hope that paycheck's really good, but then I'm like, what's the point? Because alongside doing my American Fiction review, I also looked at a deep dive about Bamboozled, and then it's kind of like, okay, what's
another great movie?
Really great movie too. And I mean, it's barely anywhere on the internet, but you have to like buy it, which I'm like, hey, get your points, Spike Lee. But anyway, like
exactly.
But like I don't know. It's just like we're going backwards. But one thing I do want to say, going to that quote, the second quote, is that this was not the project to take on, modernize it whatsoever. If you want to give like a Norman Lear project, I would say do a remake of All in the Family.
Yeah, do All in the Family.
I got a Good Times one for you, though. I'll tell y'all after you talk. I got a good one for you.
But I think All in the Family would honestly be the perfect one right now, because it's directly talking about bigotry, and like, and I think that's perfect. Good Times, you don't need to talk about that, because we're like, I don't know. Like, the thing is, like, I don't mind films that take place in the ghetto and the hood, a lot less if it like has nuance to it. One of my favorite films of last year was 1001, which happens to take place in the ghetto. However, it's talking about gentrification.
That part.
That's such a good movie.
Exactly.
So it's like, it just has to have, and it was directed by a Black woman. It's about a Black woman's experience too. So it's like, we have to be so mindful about,
but
well,
Meagan,
not we have to be, they had to be so mindful about the projects that they pick up. And that's what the whole thing is about. Like with these works like Bamboozled and An American Fiction, is just
and Hollywood Shuffle. If you don't throw in the Hollywood Shuffle,
example that is just like, okay, we can do all this stuff, make our own, but are they going to pick it up? Are the Jews going to pick it up?
And
Who's going
Meagan,
to fund
you know
these
what?
projects?
But Meagan, that one point that you said is the main point of why this doesn't work and why a lot of these films don't work when they go there, is because of gentrification, because of the whitening of once black neighborhoods, or the upscaling, I'll say, to keep it unracial, the upscaling of said urban areas is what makes these stories unrealistic now, because you're dealing with, now you got people like I'm just going to use Marcy Projects for example. Marcy Projects sits where it sits. Anybody who was there down there in the 80s, even the early 90s, it wasn't no, I'm just going to keep it a buck. There were no white people walking down there unless you wanted to get robbed. You weren't going nowhere near that Fulton Street, none of that. And to now try to project these stories of like, this is not the environment that we are in. And even the black people and Hispanic people in such gentrified areas are on the come up. Like we kind of agree, like, yeah, push the riffraff out. Let's get the BS out, and let's get our cake up. Let's get some property where we can, and let's cake up. Let's elevate. It's time to move up. So, and we're slowly getting those stories, like American Fiction and stories like that. But if you're gonna go and you're gonna project anything about these type of neighborhoods, you have to, and you can't solely lean on the, oh, it's gentrified. Like of course we know what gentrification is, but we also got to look. They never look at the other side of it, of the middle class and the upper class blacks that are pushing for the same thing. Like, yeah, we want that. We would prefer for y'all to go back to greener pastures and let us do what we do here and let us come up and change the area. But listen, if you're gonna clean it up, we gonna be right here at Whole Foods with you. But we want the riffraff gone and clean up the neighborhood.
Well, I want to jump in on. I want to jump in on one thing, Kev, because I don't want to lose the fact that, because since we were just what I just read about Yvette Nicole Brown, and then I'll jump to Jeff because I want to bring this up because I know he'll be on board with this. First of all, I have to really not just push back what she said, but this is the stuff that angers me when it comes to this stuff. Yvette Nicole Brown says it's championed by Norman Lear because he is once again playing the black person that's that's going out there and doing their dirty work, so to speak. Where it's like, oh, it's Norman Lear. They just celebrated this guy about a year ago and turned 100 years old, and every black person that came on that stage was like, Norman Lear, I was so glad that he made these black shows for us and this, that, and the other. And let's not, that's what angers me, because first of all, Norman Lear did not create Good Times.
He stole it from the dude who wrote Cooley High.
Right, exactly. Let's get that straight. Let's give the proper flowers to the man who actually created Good Times.
Absolutely.
Which is Eric Monti. Eric Monti,
exactly.
co-created by Mike Evans. Now, Eric Monti, I had the pleasure of meeting him recently at an event that they had out down here in Atlanta, and where they kind of like, was giving him his props, whatever. It was a Cooley High event where you got to watch Cooley High with the man who wrote Cooley High, right? So it was cool, very cool event. So anyway, Eric Monti created, along with Mike Evans, this is just because we educate here on the show too, for people who might be watching and don't understand.
Right.
Norman Lear hired Eric Monti, and Eric Monti, the first thing when he's ever asked that question, he always says, Norman Lear gave me my shot, and I will never forget that. However, Norman Lear died with money, and I don't have money, so there's your answer. And this is a big thing, because he came in on the level of All in the Family, and he created the Jefferson characters. Eric Monti, not Norman Lear. He created the Jefferson characters, George, Louise, Lionel Jefferson. Lionel Jefferson, who is Mike Evans, was the one who got with him and asked him, let's create this show. They did it. Boom, boom, boom. We have good times. Okay, good. Eric Monty, for the first 2 seasons of Good Times, was in the writer's room, and he was constantly fighting with the writers.
Because he was the only black dude.
Right.
Yeah.
He was the only black dude in the writer's room, right, Jeff? And just like Jeff mentioned earlier, the actors was pushing back on the dialogue because they're getting stuff like, black people don't talk like this. What are you talking about? Like, we can't.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So it wasn't until and I have to point out, Eric Monty is the reason why, along with Esther Rowe, they're the reason why there was even a father, because they originally didn't even want a father.
That's right.
Yeah, they didn't even originally want a father figure, and definitely not a strong black father figure. And Eric Monty constantly fought with them. When he left to write Cooley High, he left Good Times to go write Cooley High. Obviously, you go and you get, you got greenlit. He went to go write that. And the moment he left, coincidentally,
James gets killed.
James gets killed. They kill off John Amos' character. All right, right after Eric Monty leaves. So my point is, the reason why I had to just point that out, because that angers me that so many black people, I talked about this in a previous show. Where are the black executives, black actors, black influencers? Where are y'all champion the man who actually created these shows?
Does she even know who he is? This is all over TikTok. Go to TikTok University. It's free. You big knucklehead. Come on now. We were allowed to be stupid in the 80s because they hid it in libraries. But there's no excuse to be this stupid now. Come on.
No excuse. No excuse whatsoever. But Jeff, you can go ahead and comment on that, and then I'm going to come back and read. I want to read an official statement from the Monty family that they said about
Get my popcorn ready.
Hold on a second. I just got a call from one of my old crack dealer friends from the 90s and the 80s. He just told me that there's nobody out here dealing crack anymore. Okay, so who is this baby that they have that's dealing a drug that's not even out anymore? When's the last time we saw the snow fall? When's the last time a BFM came around? Nobody's doing that anymore. It's legal marijuana. If this kid was a real kid, he'd be dealing methamphetamine, stealing antidepressants from old white people and selling them to little white kids. Come on, that's what's selling right now. So when I think about it, Meagan, that storyline is definitely dead. Right? Yeah. But how could a black person revitalize it? Well, you have a different set of family, a different set of characters. You had, what is JJ's future, right? Yeah. What was Thelma's future? What was Michael's future? And then you build off of that, right? And in my story that I just thought when I saw the trailer was Mike comes back as a PhD social worker psychologist in another project because Cabrini Green is already gone, and wherever those people are, he's now dealing with the problems of what you see in this story. And that way you could have still had a lot of the ignorance, but it would have been tied into the Evans family. He would have been probably battling his nieces and nephews that Thelma had, and maybe JJ is some great art person who is a philanthropist who he's trying to get money from to help people because he's the militant midget, and you have some diversity, and Walona, you have Penny that can do cameos. It's beautiful. Take a page from the Fresh Prince of Bel-Air remake. Golly, didn't that just succeed? Are we not are we in a bubble or something? Did they experience a different reality than what we experienced? But to be honest, The Good Times was never an easy pill to swallow. for Black people. So it was because we couldn't digest Good Times that we got the Cosby Show. Bill Cosby, was his second show.
And before that, the Jeffersons, and stuff like that.
Yeah, and Jefferson's was an overreaction. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
George was an unrealistic calling crackers cracker. That was a feel good. That was. I don't even know Black people that do that now. We ain't got time to be calling crackers crackers. It's too risky. You understand?
Yeah.
So he was an overreaction.
Yeah. This is from Eric Monte's official Instagram account. Let's be very clear. We don't approve of this cartoon and have nothing to do with it. This coon show is not our work.
Yeah.
Please spread the word. Hashtag Eric Monte will not be getting paid for this. Norman Lear still stealing from him.
Absolutely.
There.
Yeah.
I had to put that out there because that's the truth. Norman Lear and really quick, even on the Jeffersons, like I said before, Eric Monte created the characters of the Jeffersons. However, when the Jeffersons were made and put out, he was already left and he was doing the movies, and he never got credit for the Jeffersons. He never got credit for creating the Jeffersons, basically, and
so
whatever, anything behind that. So that's what he means by Norman Lear is still stealing from him, because he's pretty much been stealing from him his entire career. And then the second one was also an official, where it says the families of Eric Monte and Mike Evans do not support nor have granted permission for the animated series reboot of Good Times.
Absolutely.
Family. Yeah. I just wanted to make sure that that was read, because now what I said at the top of the show before I brought everybody on, the importance of that. Eric Monte and Mike Evans, the importance of, we educate here on Real Talk, the importance of having and owning intellectual property.
What's with the balloons, man?
What'd you say?
I think it's a hand movement. There's a hand movement.
Yeah.
Yeah, something like that goes on.
So, what Eric Monte, Mike Evans, at the very least, should have gotten an executive producer credit,
right,
and or writer's credit for creating the characters. But now, what they did to get around that, I believe that's one reason why they created these new characters that were not created by Monty. They created these new characters to get around cutting him a check. And this is what you get.
It was
basically
Satan.
This is what you get basically when Norman Lear sits down with Seth MacFarlane and say, we're going to reboot Good Times. But this was calculated. He's gonna say, no, you know what? We can't pay Monty. We can't cut him no check.
Right. Don't use none of them people.
Yeah. That let's go ahead and create new characters.
Wes, I got.
They happen to be the descendants of the Evans that are just dumb.
I mean, at this point, it's too early because it hasn't aired yet, right?
Mm-hmm.
But do we blame the creators? Do we blame people that put money behind it? Do we blame the studio? Do we blame Netflix? Or potentially, if this is a huge hit and everything we said goes mute, do we blame us as an audience?
If it's a dream sequence, listen, I own my critique of titles. I own my critique of trailers because they are representative. This isn't the first movie that had a trailer that was suspect. You know what I'm saying? And most of the time it's correct. It is the way it is. It is what you see because they don't have nothing else. This is their best foot forward. So I don't know, but I tell you, I'm waiting to hear more from the post response. Like, Yvette, just keep your mouth shut, but like you said, maybe she does feel that way. I'm waiting to hear what other people say. I hope none of them say anything. I hope Jay Farrell don't say anything. I really like these people, and I can't, they're going to take a hit. Everybody's going to take a hit on this one Don't say anything. Let it go. Say, oh, it was a bad joke. Do an Ari Spears. We didn't mean to have a little girl in there with Tiffany Haddish and forget about it. We don't want to hear it. Don't stand on stupid. It's just going to mess you up even more.
Yeah, it's you got to take accountability for what you're doing. Like, you really do. It's I've lost respect for these people that I've loved their work, and it's just like, it's upsetting. It really is. But like, kind of going back to the point, like, am I going to watch it? I'll probably watch it as a critic, but I don't know. It's just a trailer. They showed so many clips.
Everything was negative.
So I don't think I'm gonna get anything new out of it, honestly.
Well, you know what was the other thing that I thought of, and I'm summoning like my inner Cat Williams. How about this? I actually think it's worse than putting on a dress. Okay, I actually think it's worse. I was watching this game and they had a commercial with Juju Watkins and Joel Embiid, and Joel Embiid has a bun and baby hairs. That's that's like Cat Williams alert. But that only affects him. You understand what I'm saying? I've never seen a black male actor in a dress, and I said, damn, that looks good. I'm going to wear a dress. But this particular Good Times has the impact to have a negative effect on people other than the actors themselves. And that's why I think it's worse than putting a dress. Because a dress is like, all right, dude, they got you. They made you look stupid,
Mm-hmm. Jeff, I think take it a step further, Jeff, and it's okay. I think this is a potential blemish on the legacy of Good Times, but it's also a potential blemish on McFarlane, on all the actors, on Cree Summer directing it.
Yes.
Depending on how this falls,
everybody's going to take a hit.
Everyone's going to take. Well, I mean, in a way that. It's like that Christmas party, that work party, and that one person, they get drunk and they start vomiting. They still have a job, but everyone kind of remember that party. Like, and I think this show is gonna be. Remember when you did that reboot of Good Times? It's gonna be one of those.
I hope it flops. I really do. Like, I hope it flops. Like, there's not a single project. Well, okay, I would say The Flash, and also this project. I've just been like, I hope it flops. I hope it flops.
Oh no, you was rooting against The Flash.
Against The Flash, but that's another story. But
I'm with you. I actually don't want this to succeed either. As much like I'm happy, like JB Smoove already got his money. You know what I'm saying? Jay Farrell and them. It was a cash out. You got hoodwinked. You know what I'm saying? You got bamboozled. But let's stop it from going any further. This is go back and make Michael Jackson take Jew Me off the record. Let's not even let this happen. You got draw the line. All jokes aside, it's not funny. You know what I'm saying?
You know what? That's a good. I'm glad you mentioned that. I mean, they made this man go back in the studio and
take off "Sue Me, Jew Me." Yeah, yep. That was like, and he's talking about the lyric from "They Don't Really Care About Us." From the great Michael Jackson. And there's a lyric in there which I'm kind of paraphrasing, but he definitely says, like
kite me, Jew me, sue me, Jew me. I remember I got the original.
Hold that
tight. So again,
back and made him take that off, of course.
But Jeff, to your point, I mean, all jokes aside, if in any other circumstance, if something could be very painful for a community and you'll make changes. Well, I'm saying this out in the universe. What I saw in the trailer, this is very painful.
Right.
And I feel hurt. I feel stress. My eyes, I can't sleep. And I think that this should be removed. Netflix, I love you, but come on.
This is like punching somebody.
Yeah.
What I want to propose is I want to pose this question to the panel, and we'll be wrapping it up soon. But I know Sev, your time is limited. So overall, another part of this title today is like the importance or the power of imagery when it comes to us, black imagery, specifically in animation, right? Because like you said, some people say, okay, this looks like Baby's Kids, it looks like this. It's a cross of a few things, right? Animation wise, what have you. But the power in the actual, not just the imagery and the looks, obviously the overall presentation of it all. Because like we said, Baby's Kids had some messages in it.
Right. So did the PJs with Eddie Murphy. Eddie Murphy's The PJs was better than this.
Yeah. Oh yeah, most definitely.
Yeah.
But what can any of y'all just speak to that? Just your personal opinion on the power of the imagery that, because we could take it back to, all the way back in the day when they was, when they were showing stuff like this,
right.
And when this was imagery and this is what we had to look at, how did we feel? Back, at least the people that, none of, all of us are with certain ages or whatever. But when this type of stuff was aired, no one felt good about this.
Right.
You know what I mean?
I mean, we know the power of imagery because we were all impacted by it. I mean, I tell people all the time, you want to know the power of imagery. Well, let's hear them tell you the name of your doctor when you're about to have an open heart surgery. You're going to feel it's good when it comes Jabaka Skortsky or Bumake. You'd be like, oh, shoot, because you have such a media image of Africa and African-sounding names that you'd be like, golly, I don't even imagine a smart person. Well, that to me, now I'm a high school 12th grade teacher, right? And this is like teaching the future. So to be honest, it's not really going to have an impact. We're in the post-Obama era. The impact that they thought they would have with this film, people will actually laugh at it. You understand what I'm saying? It's not going to make kids or anybody think the projects is like that. Maybe some remote racist part of Norway or Russia, they may believe that like where whiteness is pumped out, but they're not going to, as ignorant as we can get about ourselves, we have too much access to ourselves now. You understand what I'm saying? So we have social media, and it's still going to have an impact. But what I'm saying is, it's not going to be as impactful because people that believe those stereotypes are actually stupid. You know what I'm saying? Racist. This, you look like the Cowboys owner, Jerry, whatever his name is, right? And when you see yourself doing something racist, like if they play those old tapes from the 40s and the 50s, I don't think no black person could ever be able to do this or that. You know what I'm saying? That was painful back in those days, but now it's just stupid. You know what I'm saying? Like, how stupid? They have white fragility. They're embarrassed by their own. It was you in the video, Grandma.
Yeah. Right, but Jeff, the thing is, you bring up such juice and gold because this is the thing, right? To all my, I'll say it in this loving way, to all my either Native American, Asian American, Jewish American brothers and sisters, if that trailer,
right,
was you just changed the race, that would be shut down immediately. The next thing is, the thing is, internationally, this is not the world anymore because of technology, social media. We are world citizens. You could fight over a flag. You could argue over little imaginary lines that don't exist. We are world citizens. And when you put this out, yes, I don't want to go to Norway and for people to think this is representation by people.
Right.
So no, it's not acceptable for any four corners of the world. From what we saw, again, I might break down and watch one episode, but if that one episode is anything like that, we as a community at some point have to, like, I'm tired of people saying, oh, we got to control our stories. You know, and unfortunately, the same group of people that are us or half us or whatever like that, but they say it in a way only because they're trying to get the bag.
Yeah.
Because they want the acting job, or they want the writing job, or they want they're not saying that as far as a collective of the community. Because if you really felt that powerful, you would also feel that powerful when really bad images are put out there.
Right.
You're not boycotting. You're not saying I'm not taking that job because it's beneath me and my culture. You never hear that.
Right.
Yeah.
You don't hear that at all. And this is why I know, like, half of the people, it's kind of like when Will and Jada wanted to boycott the Oscars just because Will wasn't nominated.
Right. With his terrible accent, African accent.
Which was
You know what I
dumb.
mean? So it's
dumb.
Consistency. And I think that the only way we're going to get that, and for more doors to be open as well, because the reality is most people in position don't have ideas. So they got to keep throwing out the old stuff. And they say, well, if I can't do that, let me dumb it down, because dumb it down works. Because someone that's doesn't look like us will co-sign it because they don't know any better, or they're racist anyway.
Yeah.
No, they're just racist.
They're just racist.
I definitely agree. Like, they want to pick the lowest hanging fruit. Like, it really is that, because people eat it up. Like, kind of going back to your point too about a little bit about the argument, let's create our own. Well, like, one of the comments on one of my videos was like, we need our own network. And I'm thinking, well, we do have our own network, but here's one of the prominent new Black networks, Zeus Network. And you get to see the same stuff. You get to see this coonery, buffoonery, colorism, all this stuff, ratchetness. It's really sad, because it's like, okay, well, someone had to get funding for that. Like, that's the thing. And then when it comes to Black projects that actually paint us in a great light, it's like, oh, I've never heard of that, so I don't want to go to the movies. Or like, going to the theater is so expensive now. It's like, well, you asked for this.
Oh, it's too preachy. It's too preachy.
Yeah.
Preachy. Exactly. Like, I just want to have fun or whatever. It's just like, well, what do you want then? Like, it's really frustrating. But going back to like the Black imagery thing, I find Black imagery, especially in animation, you have to be so careful, because I do not like the character design for the dad whatsoever. With his exaggerated features and stuff, I just do not like it. Sorry to the animator, but I just do not like it.
Oh, you went in. You paid more attention than I did. I was like, I can't even watch this.
Yeah, like, I do not like the character design, but especially the dad. The dad looked crazy, and like, it's just like, we have to just be so mindful about how people look, especially with Black people. And it's just like, well, just like any marginalized group, how they're represented in media. Like, it's just, that stuff matters. And one of my classes I took in college, I focused on media theory and whatnot. And there's this media theory called cultivation, which means the more images people view, the more they start believing it. So I'm like a heavy believer that stuff is true. Like, it really is. Especially to people that, honestly, the average person really can't distinguish what the truth is and what fiction is. It's really sad, especially now with this information that we are in. With the internet, we're just getting so much information at once, and people just believe whatever they see online now. And I think the same thing goes with television.
Meagan, are you trying to say, Meagan, that you don't believe that baby and that mother naturally have perm blonde hair? Yeah. that doesn't invoke African pride.
No, you know what's so wild? I bet you they have an episode where they wash the chicken in dish detergent.
Yeah.
So, like, if I had to pitch, we'd take all the negative, stupid things that people did, right? and say, let's build around that. You understand what I'm saying? But I don't know. You were finished, Meagan? I'm sorry. I'm going to cut you off.
Yeah, no, I was pretty much done, but I'm just saying, like, everything is just so important. And, like, these animators, they need to, like, actually, there's actually a problem with a lot of animation not knowing how to draw people of color, because they either give them Eurocentric features or they over exaggerate Afrocentric features or whatever, demographic that they are depicting. Even with hair texture too, like that's even a problem too. That's why every animated character has the same type of hairstyle. It's just like, it's just all this type of stuff. So there needs to also be more diversity in animation too. Because of that. And I don't care if people are like, oh, well, that's just hiring for diversity. Yes, we need it. We need it for a reason. Like we do.
No, we definitely need it. I wanted to I had popped that up before in my little flex right here, my picture with Eric Monty.
Yeah, you definitely own that, because I didn't see this coming, So I probably had never met him, but I didn't see it coming. But the thing that I wanted to say, and I'm a piggyback, like Seven been piggybacking on me. I'm a piggyback on you. Like sometimes I don't say all of the deepest thoughts until somebody else says something deep, and I'll be like, all right, it's a depth competition. Right? So let me use it's a depth jam. All right, enough of that, right? So right? So what I actually feel is what you said earlier about this isn't really a jokey joke environment, right? The projects was a real place. Housing complexes were a bad experiment, right? Number one. That's why they're being destroyed now. They were the epitome of the ghetto, right? So the next thing is flash forward to people with blonde hair, BBWs, or is that what it is? Yeah, BBLs. I made them a car, right? BBLs, over plastic surgery, to the level of what we think happened to Sammy Sosa, or what we think is happening to Serena Williams, or what we think happened to Little Kim. You understand what I'm saying? Yes, they do change their features, right? Yes, they do wear blonde hair. But in a psychological, is it psychological? Yes, psychological term. Many times they're victims of low self-esteem, and when adults look at that, they're not supposed to laugh at them. You understand? And this is an adult environment where we never were laughing at the original Good Times, because we understood and sympathized, because many of the people in the inner city either lived there or tried to get out of there, and they understood it wasn't something to necessarily laugh at, right? Mm-hmm. So we're not laughing at Little Kim in a lights on environment. Like, people, you would be worse than Corey Holcomb, right? If you were to laugh at Little Kim in her face. If you were to laugh at K. Michelle, who almost died getting a butt implant, right? You might laugh behind her back and just say, oh my God, she got it came out. I told that girl. Yeah, because that's our safe circle, right? We do that at the picnic. We do that at the barbecue. But outside of the barbershop, right? We don't laugh at those people. To be honest, we actually, if any intelligent person, you sympathize with those people. Yeah. You understand? That's why we ridicule the harsh comics like Ari Spears or Corey Holcomb and say, yo, you need to calm down, dude. You don't laugh. That person needs help. You know what I'm saying? It's okay if you have Mary J. Blige and she gets her blonde hair, or Beyonce. Well, all right, we know that they may have a stabler rationale, but in reality, Black people have some of us have been negatively impacted by our condition. So the funny thing is, like, it's not funny, right? I have a African coworker. He's from Nigeria. And he's younger than me, so he goes to me to bounce things off when he doesn't understand them. And many of the things he doesn't understand is why Black people do the things that they do. And when I explained it to him, he understands, because Africans in sub-Saharan Africa are the control group. They're not as contaminated like Jamaicans, Haitians, Dominicans, Puerto Ricans, Trinidadians, Brazilians, and African Americans are. We were the ones that speak these other languages. We don't know our own language. We speak French, English, and Spanish. Those are all our colonizer languages, and we picked up the culture from it. So not to go like all history, but what you said, Seven, really makes sense, because that's why this isn't funny, because we're laughing at mental slavery victims. These are the victims of mental slavery, and it's not funny.
And it's victims of white supremacy ultimately.
Absolutely. There you go.
That's the thing, and it's just like it really does feel insulting. But even for people that are like, oh well, it's just comedy, take a joke. The jokes are not even funny.
This ain't Medea. This ain't Medea. Medea has spirituality in her. Medea is the moral compass for her family. There's balance in that. You understand what I'm saying? This ain't blank. This ain't blank, man. This is everything we've done that has been silly. There's been some balance, because we know we're the person. We know what's funny about the person, and it's not the person. You understand?
So everybody wanted to get out of the ghetto.
Yes.
No, exactly.
That was
the point. That was the point of the show.
I think the dad
for the most part.
series, like in this series, wants to stay or something, and I'm just like, why is he all backwards like this and like making fun of his daughter for having like in the trailer at least having all these ideas and wanting to essentially be the Michael character of the show, and it's just like. And he's just like, why are you talking about that? It's just like, what?
Yeah, we Black. The revolution will be here later. Or what was one of the clips?
Yeah, that's what he said. Yeah.
Stupid. And I was just like, okay, that doesn't give it the energy of
Now see that should have been the reboot where the Evans family did get out the ghetto, but there's something happens around the 80s that brings them back that brings their children back to the ghetto. Now you got, say now with that now you have some material to deal with.
I'm gonna say this. Oh wait, I see somebody's getting some feedback, but I'm gonna say this, and we're all creators here, and we definitely have our ideas and things like that, but the bottom line is two things I have to say. Really, in summary of this, number one, and I know Ralph is definitely gonna agree with this. It should have never even been touched. That's number
exactly
one.
Right.
I'm tired of you guys out there in Hollywood taking things that should be left alone and wanting to. And this is one of my big problems. Generally, they say we want to take it, we want to update it. You're not updating this. You are taking us back, bringing before the original one, with the mindset going on in the show. Now, perhaps, and I'm gonna give the producers a second of a pause. Perhaps I'm overreacting, but I'm just looking at the trailer. Maybe if I looked at an episode and see that the trailer does not match the actual show, because that has happened. You've seen the trailer and you see the actual thing, and it's like, well, the trailer didn't tell me none of this stuff. I'm willing to give you that caveat for the time being. But on paper, what I'm looking at right now, this is horrible. It never should have been done. Never. And if it was done, and this is where Norman Lear, Norman Lear, I'm going to take a wild guess that Norman Lear, the project that he signed, that he said, I'm good with this, is not this right here. It's that original picture that you showed. And the producers went and changed this to what it is now.
Mm-hmm.
Well, this has definitely got Seth MacFarlane hands all over it. As far as cockroaches right there.
Cockroaches. They don't even have the Black Jesus from the
Yeah.
second episode.
Yeah, that's not even the black Jesus. They got the white Jesus there.
Like I said,
crack-
the only way this could be saved if it's like WandaVision or it's like a bad dream or Michael says, I need to get back to real Cabrini Green and he clicks his heels 3 times or something. Because this cannot be real. This cannot, I mean, like I said, it's worse than
Look at the
any
pills.
project's ever been.
Oh my gosh.
You got the
this is
pills right
awful.
here. You got the cockroaches that's freaking sailing on a can.
We're gonna
Oh
talk.
my lord, this is just this.
This
What
is
does that
awful.
say?
This is so offensive.
Now, if they would have done an original story like this without associating it to Good Times
with Good
and
Times.
called it the Ratchets,
As I
then
said,
people would
Good
have been
Times.
like,
Call it a
oh,
Good
okay,
Times.
I get it. It's the Ratchets. Yeah, the Ratchets, you know?
The Ratchets.
And
I
then
mean,
they
I
can
would have
listen
more
to
respect
Sexy
for
Red.
them. I
Right,
have
right.
more respect for them if they did it as just whatever they're gonna do it as, call
Right.
it something else, and it's just like, okay, we have another show to unpack. The fact that they
It still would flop, though. It still would flop.
right, it's still fun. The fact that they attached it to the Good Times label, you know, forget about
the
all
problem.
the stuff we talked about. That's
Right.
the biggest problem. You know, of course, and then take away the fact that you know, they're once again screwing over Eric Monty, who created Good Times, and you know, and Mike Evans. They shouldn't even have did it. I truly believe that Seth MacFarlane, he did kind of tell this story on like Jimmy Fallon or something. I believe it was Seth MacFarlane that came to Norman Lear with the idea of revamping it. Norman Lear, of course, plotted with him, gave him his blessing. Now Norman Lear is no longer with us, and they carried on, you know, and did the show. I have to agree with all of y'all on this, you know, and I'm gonna try to put a bow on this so we can, you know, I'll get final thoughts from everybody. But this is just, it just should have never happened. And I guess the for the final thoughts, Jeff also, I think Jeff was the one who put me on to, there is a petition that has been circulating that people have been digitally signing to, you know, I guess in their way of boycotting the show. I guess it's kind of a question. I guess my question is, with signing the petition for the panel, do you guys think, is this something that is going to make any difference whatsoever?
No, it's not.
one
No,
bit.
there's been petitions literally for everything that people don't like, and
Yeah,
like
I noticed
it
that.
never goes through. So I think the best way, it is such a wishful thinking, but the best way is to not watch it. But
Yep.
people are going to watch it out of morbid curiosity, or
Yeah.
they're going to hate watch
Yeah.
it, and that's kind of another flip side of this.
Hate
If
watching. Yeah.
if there's a target audience for it, it's for hate watchers.
It's for hate watchers, yeah. Trying to get us, the people that's boiled, their blood is boiled. I can't believe this. I'm gonna watch it. You know what I mean? Because guess
or
what?
even-
Netflix doesn't care. Netflix can care less why you watch it.
Right. They just want you
they just want you to watch it. They just want you to watch it.
They just want you to watch it. And like another thing too, like I know like there's going to be another audience. It's going to be the content creators that do the YouTube videos. That's like, I watch the Good Times reboot, so you don't have to.
Yeah.
Those type of creators. And I might actually watch it through another creator. I don't know.
Yeah.
But I don't think I want to be that person that watches it just so other people won't. You know, I don't think I want to do that. And like, I don't know. I don't really like the point of hate watching. I don't, because if you don't like something, you shouldn't watch it. But people like watching it for morbid
That's
curiosity.
human nature. You know that's human nature, right?
And I know
People,
it is, yeah.
I've had people come
look at
oh
car
my God,
crashes.
they're like, oh my God, this is terrible. Taste it. I'm like, no, why do I want to?
Right.
And it's so crazy. So I think like if we're going into conspiracy theories, this also might alternatively be the reason why this show was made. Like, I don't even know. Even going down like the research that I could find on this show, like it just doesn't make any sense.
Well, Wes, can you send this show to every executive in Hollywood? And something that Meagan said that's super important, I just want to add to it. She said that basically talking about putting people in positions of power and diversity, but putting people in position of power, diversity, that actually care about their people.
Yes.
Because we do have people in power.
We do.
We do have people that, and it's
that are in power.
Nah, I'll say it off the air. Never mind. I was about to call out.
Well, I just want to.
I get you.
Hold on a
I
second.
get you.
I'm gonna say this.
Yeah,
yo, look, where the hell is Spike Lee right now? You want to come all out for Quentin Tarantino, for Django Unchained, and all this other stuff. Now you got this show coming on of a beloved TV series.
Right.
Where is your ass on the front line?
Where
are you at?
Had to inspire you. It had to inspire you.
It has to. So final thoughts. Just we kind of wrapping this up here, and I appreciate each and every one of you that jumped on, took your time, and came on here. But we go back to the petition thing, and we already kind of agree that they make petitions all the time. But do you have anything to add as far as like Sev just said, maybe send this show to some people that make some decisions or whatever the case may be. But individually, we can all kind of let me rephrase that. Individually, what are we all going to do to kind of continue to express our feeling on this and kind of like spread the word of how we feel not to support this? So, Sev, what?
I'm gonna start with me because I'm black.
I don't know. You're in the right corner there, and it's like clockwise. So you're like the first clock.
I'm gonna go last.
All right, let's start with Jeff.
Okay, so what I wanted to say in the originality is I want to get all of y'all information and send you a digital copy of one of my books, because I believe not what I'm doing only, but I think what Black creators are doing with the mind of Black writers is the actual solution. You know what I'm saying? Because we always, not always, many times people love to complain and they don't have a solution, right? Yeah. We actually have projects that we can support. You know what I'm saying? So that's one of the best ways I feel we can do it. This is already made. All of these people got cashed in. Maybe we can say to Steph Curry, all right, spend some of that stupid good times money on a Black project. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. Something that a Black creator can do, and maybe we can direct them to something good. So I have a project. I've been trying to get it to look good, but it's called The Last Harlemite. And it's coming out in stores this summer. It'll be in previews on Free Comic Book Day, so everybody can see what it's about. And it's my first one coming out in stores. So it's in the mind of a Black creator. Like I say, Black sci-fi is not aesthetics. It's actually the act, why you're wearing the kente cloth. Kente cloth just looks nice, but the real element is the content behind why you're wearing that kente cloth. So I joined this show because I wanted to get it off my chest, but I actually don't feel like I'm going to even talk about it anymore. I think I'm going to give it dead space. And just move on. Like somebody says good times to me, I'm going to say, Rodney Barnes, Blackula. You know what I'm saying? They'll say good times to me. I'm going to hit them with something else that's that's Black created that they can get a part of, because I don't even want to give them the bandwidth. I never even showed the trailer. I never posted a link to the trailer on my page. Mm-hmm. I didn't, so I don't know what else. I mean, if we get considered,
that's a good point.
Yeah,
that's a good point that you made there. So
let's bring somebody else up.
Yeah, I agree with that. So Megan, I know that I watched your video that you made in the view. If in fact you get a chance to review it or whatever, what's your plan going forward?
That's something. Yeah. I feel like if anything, I will probably watch the first episode if anything, if I do watch it, because you kind of get a sense of a show. I'm not gonna binge watch it at all because also with Netflix, they also look at watch time, so how many episodes we're actually binging as well. So if anything, I'm going to just say, if I do a review on this, like if it's a slow movie week, a slow news week, then I will do a video. But I think I'll do something similar to Jeff, is just really highlight great films that are written by us, starring us, that are actually have a message to say that can be entertaining, can be fun. A little bit of a self plug. I did a Black Cinema Showcase, Black Cinema Challenge on TikTok. So yeah, all of my reviews are on there. But I highlighted all these different Black centered films. A lot of them are Black directed. Actually, a big handful of them are Black women directed. So yeah, definitely check those out. I try to avoid anything that involves Black trauma for the most part, with the exception of one of the things, one of the challenges, because I collaborated with someone on this too. But yeah, just things that didn't really involve Black trauma, things that didn't involve a lot of like stereotypes, things like that. Yeah, but there's a lot of great films on the list. I also have a Letterboxd account too, where I have all the films that are, I did a playlist of all those. So yeah, but I think that's what I'm gonna do moving forward, is just keep showcasing Black cinema, Black television shows. I think I'm actually going to probably do a review on the original Good Times while this is airing and while people are making reviews on it, and do something like that to actually showcase it, because keywords, social media and stuff. So I did watch a big chunk of the first season, so I think it's
they
really
got some really good clips. They got some really good viral clips when JJ was getting recruited by the gang. There's a lot of good clips in there, So yeah, I wanted to do something like that too, but I don't want to even give Good Times. I don't even want to say Good Times to this moment.
He's so mad right now. Right?
Yeah.
So this is what we'll do. Meagan, I'm gonna stay with you for a second, because go ahead and shout out your social media and somewhere you can find your stuff, and then when we move to 7, you could put your comment and still obviously do the same. We're about to go round robin, and everybody, let everybody know where they can find your stuff. Jeff kind of gave it to us, but I want him to repeat that so you know where to find stuff. But all right, go ahead, Megan.
Yeah, so you can find me on Instagram and on TikTok at Meaganzworld. I put my handle down, but yeah, that's MEAGANZ World. And yeah, follow me on there. Also, I'm on Letterboxd as well, if you follow that app. So if you you can I kind of post on there, but mostly like, hey, what other random stuff that I'm going to be posting about. Yeah, because sometimes I watch a lot of content where I don't actually have time to review everything. So follow me on Letterboxd too, and you can also see my Black Cinema Challenge on there as well. And I got to give a shout out to the Pistachio Film Reviews, who collaborated with me on that too. So yeah, so shout out to Pistachio Film Reviews on Instagram.
Oh, nice. That's what's up. Well, we appreciate you doing reviews and stuff like that. I'm still gonna stalk you to review one of my films. I'm like, do some indies. Do some indies,
Oh yes.
I got 6 movies on Tubi
right now. Because actually a lot of films that are coming out I haven't really been personally interested in, so I might go back to doing indies.
Go back to do indies, right? So that's what's up. We appreciate that. And Sev, let us know where they can find you.
Run in a minute, but so Geekcaster, all one word, geek and then caster. Geekcaster.com, on Instagram, all of the things, or Michael. And to answer your question, what I'm going to do is continue to write and produce original content, support stuff that you're doing, Wes, and do more projects with you. I feel that we have an interesting voice and then support other indie collaborators, because, at some point, I think people will be tired of, G.I. Joe 12, Godzilla 18, just.
Whoa, Godzilla was good. Slow down, son.
Hey, I said it at the top of the show. 4 Godzillas, 1 Man of Steel. I'm not getting off that subject.
Yeah, man.
I
But
think that
Seb, go ahead, Seb.
yes,
Finish
I
up.
think that's just the move. It's just to continue to create, because there has to be an alternative, and I think as that grows, there really is no renaissance. There's no vibe. There's no, So I think that if those people continue to will create a renaissance and a vibe, and I think that's the best thing. And also, support my film. I believe I'm the first Black puppeteer / director to do a dramedy.
Nice.
With a starring a puppet. I don't know of any other that exists. I mean, it might even be straight across the board of any race, but I'll take the Black thing because there's only about 15 Black puppeteers in America. I don't know, maybe 40. So, but please check that out. It's called Use Me, The Life of Guy with Cam. It's on Amazon and Tubi. So
y'all check that out. And I appreciate you taking the time, Seb. I know you gotta go. And thank you for joining us today, brother.
Peace and blessings.
Deuces. I'll talk to you later.
Yeah. So and I'm about to let everybody go, but Jeff, I just want you to repeat where I know you said your stuff's coming out in the stores. Where can people find anything about you? They want to learn more about you with, on social media or whatever.
My social media is old as I am, so I'm gonna give out my Facebook, right? I'm Facebook.
Okay.
I'm Jeff Carroll. I'm Jeff Carroll on Facebook because I give relationship advice. I'm Coach Yo Jeff on IG. I'm Coach Yo Jeff on X. I am RBG Promotions on YouTube, and you can check my blog. It's called the Sci-Fi Express Lane, where I give you 15 minutes of funk, 15 minutes of good commentary on different things related to writing and sci-fi. And if you do want to check out any of my movies, my latest movie is The Black Nun. That's on Tubi. And also my award-winning classic movie is Gold Digger Killer. And that's also on Tubi. So The Last Harlemite, that's coming out in stores this summer. And everything.
Once it comes out, we'll have you back on so we could talk,
Oh man, that is beautiful. I can't wait. And Meagan, I hit you up already on IG, so you have my information.
Awesome. Sounds good. I'll definitely have to check out your film too. It'll be awesome.
And Wes, for Ralph and the other person, whoever's on there, I'm gonna send you a digital copy of my latest comic book, Fingernails Part 2.
Dope. I want to take the time to thank both of you, all of you that's been, came on the panelists. I thank Sev, Jeff, Meagan. I'm really, this was a really good, insightful conversation. I'm very proud of all of you that, what you've done so far, what you're doing. And, because I, for a hot second, I thought I was the only one who felt the way I felt. For a hot second, I thought I was the only one who felt that way about the Good Times thing. Everybody, I was like, oh man, we got to get everybody on so everybody can, I get their expressions on it. So I definitely appreciate you for doing that, and I thank y'all for joining us. I don't know if you have anything last to say, Meagan, before we go, but definitely appreciate you.
Thank you so much for having me. It was a blast. I really appreciate it. I love talking about film. I love talking about television. So have me back at any time.
Awesome. Well, don't. I will take you up on that. Don't say that to me, because we've been like Ralph will tell you, we've been looking for a female that can handle up here with the Jedi Council. You know what I'm saying, when it comes to films. With the Jedi Council.
I got you.
So we might have to. You have to come and co-host with us a couple times. You know, we could just go in and get rid of this negative stuff and just go in on the movies.
That's what's up. I will watch that. And I will watch that.
Yeah,
definitely.
Appreciate y'all. All right, well, I thank y'all, and y'all definitely make sure everybody follow them on social media. Go check this stuff out. I love what Meagan's doing. I spent almost an hour going through your stuff the other day, and I love that she's going with reviewing. It's perfect. I love it. We might have to bring her in and give her a segment now for the latest review. Bring in Meaganzworld.
Yes.
If she could do like
let's do the stuff.
If she could do like a 5-minute review, like a speed review for real talk. Yeah, we're gonna talk about that. All right, thank y'all for coming. We appreciate y'all.
All right, then, big sir. Thank you. All right.
Yeah. So there you have it, man. We had the panel. And yeah, man, I'm glad everybody did what they did, reacted the way they reacted. I'm very proud of these people for doing what they're doing, man. And Meagan kind of represents, she seemed to be young. I didn't ask her age, but she kind of represents a younger generation, I believe, that is really, but she's really, really, she's here. She got it here. You know what I mean? And she's very aware. And the fact that she reviews movies, I think, is a great thing, right? And she does it on social media, so she does it on, Instagram and TikTok. I'm old. I don't really have a TikTok. I have one, but I hardly use it. I'm gonna start using it a little more for promotional purposes, but I'm a little old. But yeah, man, and no nonsense. Shout out to you. Thank you for coming in. I see her in there, holding it down in the chat room along with Joseph. And yeah, man, I think in closing, it's just a matter of I think I might take the route. I'm gonna continue to promote. I'm really gonna continue to champion the man who should be championed, and that is Eric Monti. I'm gonna champion him for what he has given us, what he has contributed, what he has, and I'm not even gonna watch this garbage. I'm not watching it. But I will continue to champion everybody. If he should have got a check from this, and I'm gonna be honest with you, I don't even know if Eric Monti would have even signed off on this.
I'm sure he probably would have ran from this crap.
Yeah, yeah, I don't even think he would have signed off on it. Which is probably another reason why they decided to go a whole nother direction, because they were probably like, they're not gonna. And who knows? Like I said, I'm in contact with the Monti, clan and his production company, and at some point we'll have them on, and we can ask them directly were they even ever contacted about this, or did they just try to go around them the whole way? But I mean, that's pretty much what it is, man. This show is the most light that our show, meaning this our episode, our panel, that's pretty much the most light they're getting from us anymore. That's it. That's why I didn't show the trailer. Didn't do anything like that because I don't want to promote that nonsense. We all watched it, we all saw it, and we all saw what it was. So, you have any final thoughts on that situation, Ralph?
Like I just said, I think Eric Monti would have ran away from even having his name, his legacy, his reputation, his breath anywhere on this project. It's just an abomination. And like I said earlier, I'm going to give him a caveat until I'm going to look at one episode. One episode is all I need. Right? Mm-hmm. Because everything you're going to tell me, I'm going to pick up in the first episode if it really is something stereotypical, if it really is something that is just totally degrading to Black people across the entire spectrum. After that, there's not going to be need unless somehow it comes on say, no, this episode of Good Times, they had a good message, it was important for the where now there's a reason for me to go back and look at it. Right now, it's a one-hitter quitter. That's where it is.
Yeah,
that's
agree.
Where we at right this second.
Kev, you watching this or what? Nah. Oh, I didn't.
I have nothing to
Kev
say.
might be
Like, we've given it enough. We've given it enough agency
Yeah.
as it is.
Yeah, you're right. I agree with you on that one, and I agree with Jeff. I agree with him on that. And to Seven's point, all I can do is I'm just going to continue to create, original content and continue to do what I do. But like I said, I do have somewhat of a personal mission of mine to really get the recognition to the gentleman who put in so much work through his years, and it's contributed so much to our culture growing up as children. And that's Eric Monty. He needs his flowers. Like I said, the fact that Yvette Nicole Brown is jumping on this and kissing the ring of Norman Lear, that's what every one of these black actors, producers, everyone that showed up at his birthday party, they're kissing the ring, and then, oh, Norman Lear, he gave us good times. He gave us the Jeffersons. He gave us Sanford and Son. He gave us the, and not doing any of their research and really figuring out where this stuff comes from. And, so that's my thing. But without giving any more energy to good times, that's pretty much how I'm going to do things.
But also, it's not that they're not giving. It's not that they don't know. They choose not to mention. They're making the choice.
Yeah,
to not.
You're right. You're not giving. No, yeah, I was just about to say that, Kev. You right. Don't even give them. Don't give them the pass. They probably know. I can. If we can check this out in the matter of a few clicks on Google, they're in the industry. These people are in the industry. You can't tell me they have no idea what really happened.
I
refuse.
They know, and that's one of my things. Even with Meagan, that was a little bit of my pushback because she kept saying, "We need to do better. It's not us that needs to do better.
Yeah,
it's the industry that really needs to change their direction and pivot onto the stories that we have. Like we have all kinds of stories, like from the ratchet, just like white people, white people have ratchet stories to their good stories. We have the same thing. It's no different. But when you have something like this, that's just basically clowning us, like, hey, you know what? It's the modern day version of Step and Fetch, without, and then and I don't care. Wanda Sykes, all of them, none of them gets a pass. I don't care if it's a check. You should have been from the outset. No.
Yeah.
Well, see that now
at the very least in the middle of. Go ahead, Ralph.
Well, I was about to say, I can't sit there and say no, you should turn down. However, since all of you are some people of relative importance, particularly Marisay, particularly her, somebody should have sat there and looked at the script and said, wait a minute, we need to change this around a little bit more to make it a little more realistic. Like, no, we're not going to have a crack selling baby in the family. No, no. But why aren't you? I don't know if that's before. I thought he's trying to do a black version of Family Guy, where the crack baby is like Stewie trying to kill his mom. I don't know, but you should have realized
that's definitely McFarlane's idea.
Yeah, but you should have realized that right there. Just I just say we'll have a baby selling crack in the hood. Someone said, "Well, damn, that sounds kind of stereotypical, man. That sounds kind of insulting," because you certainly don't have Stewie selling 88 Adderall in Rhode Island. You don't have that.
I mean, I'm still tripping off that image that was the trailer. I mean, not the trailer, the poster. It's like, yo, what is going on? The roaches, the pills floating in the water, PEDs or whatever. And I mean, what is going on here, yo? It is wild. And then of course,
it's ageism with this, because like I said earlier, we're already seen as being old, especially young black men and young black women, are already. You've seen it with girls getting slammed by grown ass security guards in class.
Yeah.
Because they're looked at as being older than. And granted, some of us do have wise mouths, because I had a wise mouth as a kid. But we do have to, because of the society that we're in, us as black people, we do have to grow up a little bit faster. We do end up becoming a little bit more mature in certain aspects because of the environment that we're around. Like if you're on the menu to be hunted, you're going to become self-aware, and you're going to come out of the womb self-aware, and to learn how to dodge and move a certain way. And this it's just not helping nothing at all. It's not. How is this pushing along our agenda? If anything, like Meagan said, this is a setback.
Yeah, that's funny. I'm gonna take Meagan up on that, man. We might have to bring her in and let her do a little movie review segment. So she does it anyway.
I want to see this thing. I want to see this thing. She said she did the black film challenge. Like, I don't know. We might have to subject her to that one. See how you do.
I know I was sitting backstage for pretty much for the rest of the show, but one of the things I wanted to say was that there's a lot of good content on BET. Despite what people might say, and it's not even though it's not black owned, it's still a lot of black content, like Average Joe, the Miss Pat show, even Tyler Perry's show. It seems like it's pretty good.
Tyler got it, and Tyler also has a lot of stuff on BET. He got like 3 or 4 shows on.
Yeah, he got a number. He got some stuff. I mean, but what I was gonna say is that the best way, when people say, well, we need more black, you got BET, and to an extent, you got Tubi. So you have some avenues, Bounce. You got some avenues for black programming. But even if you had every single outlet, make them good, make them relevant. Don't make it where we're seen as a joke, right? Even the stuff where you see is a black cast, like Snowfall, for example. Yeah, it deals with a very violent subject, the idea of black people, the rise of crack in Los Angeles. Okay, but it's not buffoonish. It's not cartoonish. It's a real description of.
It's a broad spectrum. It's a show that's painted with a broad spectrum brush. It's not just showing the effects of what happened to the black neighborhood, but also implicating how the government was involved. Because that's the first show that ever, outside of documentaries, that ever really publicly stated that the CIA was involved in the crack era and tied the Iran-Contra scandal into that, because that's what that was all about. And a lot of people forget that. Even people our age forget that.
But my thing is that what I'm saying is that it's not done in a buffoonery type where like you can see him walk around with just wads and money and and like, yo, I'm gonna go buy that brand new Cadillac tomorrow, because I can have a sunroof from the top. But it's not that. Black that BMF, definitely Power, even Empire. None of these shows were showcases black people as buffoons. They weren't shown as a mockery, but that's what you're doing now with this TV, with this cartoon. You're trying to make black people seem paint them as a mockery of who we really are. Caprini, like I said, the project doesn't even exist anymore. From what I read, they finally tore it down, I think in 2014, right? Yeah. So if you want to set it with, like I said, the early 80s, where like they did with Rocky, where Rocky is now high on the mountain, but then he loses everything. He goes back to the hood in Philadelphia. If you would have did something like that, where all the Evans kids have left the projects and they've become successful, but something happened, the recession or something, and now the stock market crashed, and now they're forced to move back to where they fought so hard to get out of, and now they got to struggle again to get out of it. Okay, now I got a premise of something that I want to see. I don't want to see some cartoon fake ass James Evans Jr. or James Evans Sr. driving a taxi cab with the Fu Manchu mustache on. I don't want to see it.
But you know what, Ralph? Even with what you just said, even that's not realistic. Because the one thing Black people don't do is go backwards. Like even if we're struggling, we gonna still try to come up. Even if we left the projects and we moved into a house, we're still going to fight to be even. Regardless of what the economy is doing, we're gonna fight to hold on to what we have because it's the little bit that we have, and we're gonna fight to hold on to it as as best we can. And that's, with that story, that's how that story would actually go. It would show them in their different struggles or whatever the case may be.
Okay, but see,
like JJ becoming a successful artist.
Right, I'm saying I even with that one, I would go with that a lot better than this crap that you're now going to try, and you're going to try to ram it down my throat. Right, because Seth MacFarlane, I mean, the 3 shows he has on have been on the average. They all been on for at least 10 years, 10 years. Are you going to really say you're going to give us 10, possibly 10 years of this bullshit? Nah, bro, you're not going to get 10 minutes. You're not going to get 10 minutes.
Yeah, I mean, it's just what it is. It's crazy, man. It's crazy. Before we go, what was I gonna say? Yeah, quick. I forgot to say this at the top of the show. So it looks like Neve Campbell is coming back to the Scream. I guess they went back. I guess they decided. Remember, I kind of said this remember when the other girl, Melissa Barrera, got fired because of her comments on Palestine and stuff like that. And then everyone started leaving, and Jenna Ortega and stuff like that. I was like, and now they had already, I guess didn't want to meet Neve Campbell's price. I said, now they're gonna have to go crawling back to Neve Campbell with the price, because that's the only way they're gonna be able to continue to do Scream. You know what I mean? Because you fired old girl, and Jenna Ortega left, so you can't revise their characters. So now you have no choice but to go back to which they should have never let her go in the first place.
Say what?
Not really.
But you
Not
do
really.
have a choice. No, they do. You can swallow your pride, stop letting public pressure or your internal, because there wasn't no public pressure that made you fire old girl. It wasn't. It was internal pressure. It's the establishment.
Yeah, they would have to. Yeah, that's a choice. That's definitely a choice.
Yeah, it was a choice.
And
definitely a choice.
You can reverse your decision.
Swallow
And be like, you know what? We need to get in order to get Jennifer
bring them
Ortega
all
back, our main star. We need to bring old girl back.
Yeah. I mean,
And
yeah,
that's
just
the bottom line.
freaking wipe this, like, because remember they lost, they fired her, and because of that they lost Jenna Ortega, they lost the director, and Skeet Ulrich. Skeet Ulrich also said that he wouldn't be returning, and he even said there's no point. He said, well, I mean, it doesn't make sense for him to return because he was really pretty much like visions and flashbacks of Melissa Barrera's character, who is his daughter. So it doesn't really make sense for him to, because he would only return obviously in flashbacks or whatever. Not flashbacks, but like little, him popping up in visions or whatever.
He a Scream ghost.
Yeah, exactly. Ghost.
Scream ghost.
So a Scream ghost. So that's so because of her being gone, he said it kind of takes away the reason for him to even be there in the first place. So so that's pretty much that, man. So
I did see today, it said, I don't know if it's true, it said that Courtney Cox turned down to be in the next Scream movie, that she decided not to do it. So
yeah, she decided not to do it. They must have gave Neve Campbell the farm, because I mean, I hope she made him do that. I hope she made him give her the farm because, the first time around she would have been on board in the first place, but they didn't want to pay her because they figured we got these two young stars, we don't need you. And there you have it. So that's pretty much that, man.
And since Joseph brought up, what did you guys think of the Beetlejuice trailer? I was kind of like,
well, it was a teaser. It was a teaser. I mean, I can't really make much of it. Thanks for that question, Joseph. I mean, it was to be. I can't make much of it. That was just a teaser that they just wanted to get out. Just to let people know we're working on it, or it's coming. Because really, you see her, she's riding on the bike, and then she comes there, and you have to assume that she let him out because by the time Winona Ryder gets there and sees the model of the city, and he kind of pops up out of nowhere. So someone had to say his name, right? So it must have been Jenna Ortega's character, probably. So I don't know. I can't give a judgment yet because it's just not enough information. It's just this trailer, this teaser was just to be able to say that we're doing another. We finally doing it. We got the people back. We got the new people in, and that's it. Yeah, that's pretty much it.
I tell you what I am looking for. With Shot to My Musty, that Alien trailer. I was like,
I saw that at the Godzilla.
I was like, oh yes, yeah.
And Ridley Scott is he producing it or is he directing it too?
He is not directing. I don't think he's got nothing to do with it.
He is not. He has nothing to do with it. He stepped back from this one. Yeah, and this is a whole new. Yeah, it's a whole new take.
But I was just like, when
they said they wanted to go back.
Wow.
But when he
said they
run,
wanted to go back to they wanted to go back to they would take it because I think this one takes place after Alien 2, after Aliens, if I'm not mistaken. But they wanted to take it back to that.
Okay.
Yeah, I think it takes place at the Alien because even the ship looks like the original ship, the interior of the original ship. So I don't know, man, but like I said, it when he said run, you saw all the face huggers coming out. I was like, oh yeah, I'm with this.
Yeah.
I'm with this.
Ridley Scott is a producer on it. He's just a producer on it. Not just, but he's a producer on it. Obviously, which would be
no. You can say that. You can say that, and you can say that happily that he's just a producer, because listen, as much as I loved Alien Covenant and the other movie, it was just like
So
they
Ridley Scott's been working so much. Yeah, he's been working so much on, he was doing Napoleon and stuff like that, with his, producing and stuff. But I mean, obviously he's gonna automatically get producing on this because he's Ridley Scott and this is Alien. So,
which by the way, Napoleon was great. If you didn't see it, again, Joaquin Phoenix did the damn thing in Napoleon. It was beautiful. Beautiful.
And that dude is just a phenomenal actor. But anything else out there that is worth that anybody wants to see? I'm wondering. I'm looking at the trailers. That kind of caught my eye.
I'm going to go see next weekend because I'm in Chicago next weekend for Zydeco, but I'm going to go see United States. Is that called United States? No, I'm sorry, Civil War. I'm going to go see that.
Civil War.
Yeah, that caught my attention. I was like, oh.
I think that's going to be good too.
Yeah. Yeah, that one I do want to see that. I think that is going to be like, whoa.
Oh, okay. Journey across the story of future. Okay. Yeah. Well, we'll see how that is. I haven't really nothing caught my eye in the theater the other day except maybe Alien.
Yo, I didn't know this was being directed by the. I didn't know this was being directed by the same director who did Don't Breathe. Yo, this is gonna be crazy.
Yeah, Alien.
Oh yeah, exactly. So
It's gonna feel real claustrophobic.
Oh yeah, it's gonna be claustrophobic. Oh, that's what's up then. All right, man. Well, we want to thank everybody. Like I said, I thanked everybody for the panel. Shout out to everybody in the chat room. Make sure you guys like, subscribe, smash the like button, subscribe button, and make sure you share this with your friends. We'll definitely be back next week and talk about some more stuff, but it won't be hood times. That's what I'm calling it now, just to distinguish it from good times. I'm going to refer to it as hood times, and we'll go from there, man. Well, until next time, for everybody over there at IG, we appreciate y'all. Thank you for your comments and your popping in and popping out. We appreciate that, and we'll get back at y'all next time. Until then, peace.
Deuces.